All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Fright Files. My name is Chris Harmon, but as normal, you can call me Dr. Fright. Tonight, we have a very special, frightful show for you. We have Sean Bond, founder of the Sonic League and Silver Core Spiritual Science. This is going to be a powerful conversation and probably the most frightful hour you've ever seen. Because instead of telling stories tonight, we have a actual storyteller that can tell us all kinds of wonderful things. So, welcome to the show, Sean.
Thank you for having me. Honored. It's going to be fun. You got like quite a energy about you and also a lot of experience. So I'm looking forward to what topics you bring out. It's going to open like this big horizon of change for a lot of people.
Oh yes, it's going to be a fantastic hour, and this is the first time you've ever been on as a guest on our show. We're looking forward to this very much. And one second here. All right. So for people who are new to your work, can you explain your background and what led you to funding funding Sonic League and Silver Cord?
Sure. So I'm Sean Bond, founder of Sonic League. Sonics is a military science going into accumulated psychic abilities found around the planet and bringing them all together in with equations, sounds per second, and ways to output and a blueprint to form abilities with gaining results. So it goes into the science of it. And so I got very passionate about that at an early age, but a lot of the matrix just pushes you down, and no one around you being like, yeah. So it's like nothing one to bounce off things with. So once you get out of indoctrination school, I flourished dramatically and had a lot of experiences, had visitations, abductions, angels visiting me, demons attacking me. I've had all kinds of visions, trips, dreams, some experiences being temporal dilated, taking places for long periods of time, like weeks, months, years, and then put back as if I never left. And having this expanded mind that goes beyond my age, and then just unfolding into a field that nobody's doing. And so I'm a scientist in psionics as a specialist, and I reverse engineer superhuman abilities. Had a lot of attack and targeting at a young age, a lot of things trying to kill me and shut down my heart. So I had to learn how to stop it and defend myself, defense against the dark arts, demon clearing, exorcism, banishing, depossession, as well as stopping attack, being able to defend and stop pain, get rid of enormous amounts of excruciating pain in myself, and then shrink it down to nothing. And then with that, I gained the ability that helps a lot of people. Did like it for free for people, then got donations, got very popular, and then well known online for healing over a distance. And been able to help businesses exercise their plays. Anyone that feels they're down on their luck, that the world is against them, help businesses with their abundance, get rid of targeting. Got well known for healing and getting rid of targeting off targeted individuals. Got into the super soldier world, became fast friends with a lot of super soldiers by helping them and healing them. And then I ended up moving in with some and getting crazy abduction experiences by the UFOs and military, as well as then formed businesses and go into honing each sense and ability and then teaching others how to do it. And then now I'm in Mexico, and now we're digging up alien artifacts. Is where we can do psychic tracking and the spirits call to us, and like it's like the reality is alive and wanting things to happen. If you want to talk about yourself, I'd love to hear some of the things how you got into this too.
Oh
And help.
yes, and I myself, we were talking a little bit before the show started. I've had ET experiences from the time I was a kid. I was born on spacecraft, or I was started out on spacecraft. I was put here on Earth, and I knew right away that I had the ability to communicate with ETs, and they had the ability to communicate with me. And I would have dreams of flying in outer space, or even just flying around just around Earth. and I knew I wasn't alone because there was always somebody with me. They never let me have a clear vision of who they were. They would always, when I would wake up from wherever I'd been, my memory would be kind of foggy. I'd remember bits and pieces, but over time, I began to remember more and more. And it wasn't until probably until uh, 1996 or 7 I started having really, really vivid dreams of flying. And I remember there'd always be somebody with me that looked somewhat human. And I began putting pieces together that, okay, that this is definitely really happening. This is not just a dream. As I got even older, I began to see presence of ETs coming into my room, which to me looked like I originally called them a grasshopper. I come to find out they were praying mantises, and I knew when they would come into my room, I knew they were there for a reason. And whenever I was with them, I had full conscious memory, but when they bring me back here, I'd only have bits and pieces of memory. But that all came more clear. I grew up, got a degree in space science and different things. Started studying remote viewing because I had the ability to be a little bit psychic as a kid, but most people who have ET experiences are psychic. I started studying remote viewing. Started getting into more space stuff, and once I graduated high school, I really started focusing on all that stuff, and which eventually led me to MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network. It was there, and I didn't even know what MUFON was until somebody. Well, first I became a paranormal investigator, and I was hanging out with one of the investigators one night, and he pulled out a card and said, "You know, you ought to investigate UFOs with MUFON." When he said that, I mean, it was like a light bulb went off in my head. That's where I'm supposed to be with my life. So I joined MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, and from there, I learned all about my ET experiences. Everything became more clear. Of course, the contact began to get even more um, daily in that case. And recently, I was taken in broad daylight at my day job. Um, I was at work because I've been in the grocery business for 27 years. I still work just a few days a week to help out. It was 3:30 in the afternoon at my day job, and I was going outside for just a few minutes, and it was 3:30. When I came back in, the customer made a comment about what they were going to do in the evening. I said, "Well, you got about an hour and a half till 5." He said, "No, it's 10 after 5 now." And the whole store said they'd been looking for me, but they couldn't find me. That was one of my recent abductions. And so, Sean, if I may ask, what first compelled you to investigate ancient history and different things?
Um, I was my one of my earlier jobs. I like went through. I worked for a restaurant and started in dish, but then went through the whole restaurant until like all the prep, the salad, fry, and grill, and everything. And like every once in a while, people would say interesting things in conversations, and like things going into the secret governments and Illuminati came out. And then a lot of proof was being shown to me, so I was like, "Oh shit!" And once you get exposed that the world isn't truly what it's being told to you, then you start like investigating. And truth is an interesting gene key to happiness. So I got like slowly addicted to blowing my mind and going down rabbit holes and researching things. And a lot of the stuff reminded me of like dreams I had as a kid, where I had like um, these ETs and extradimensional witches would visit me, and UFOs coming down, and imaginary friends, and it's just like there's an actual like field thing of suppression around those memories for some reason in the matrix here. And once you get some type of trigger of something similar, it's like reverberates and then comes out.
Yep.
So yeah, and then I got addicted to secret history in when finding out that all the cover-ups and the things of rabbit holes. I'm like, oh, what? Oh, we're not. Our history is bullshit. Ooh, nice. And that opens up so many doors to like mythology, which used to fascinate a bunch. different relic species and cryptids, things underground, civilizations that were covered up, Atlantis, going deep into this, and then forbidden archaeology, and then like how they just cover up things like giant bones and all these mines in South Africa and these mounds everywhere, and also near me. I was born in Delaware, near where Joe Biden lives. I know where he fell off the bike, and he goes to church where my stepdad does. Uh, there's a lot of weird reasons why everyone's born where they are and why they're here and all this stuff. And so I started tapping into that, past lives, unlocking awareness and knowingness and empathy to translate in Akashic records, soul memory, and all that. So I started like asking deep questions and then figuring out ancient history, and found giant mines near where I am, big stone axe tips and spears and these ancient green crystals and ancient history that was, you wouldn't think that's there. Every state has a little bit of some secret thing to investigate that was covered up. So it's a fun little adventure, like why you're here and what you're supposed to do. How about you?
Yeah, for me, it was always once I figured out more and more about my history and where I came from and what I'm here for. Which one of the things I learned was I have the ability to heal and help other people. I'm always in the right place at the right time to heal somebody or help somebody, and it never fails. I mean, just literally in the right place, just to
Thank you for
somebody's
doing
going to pass out, somebody's going to fall over, somebody needs a healing. Um, in fact, recently I did a healing for somebody who had cancer cells, and I did my healing, remote viewing healing that I call it. And I can also do healing in my mind too, just by focusing on them. And within just a few days, their cancer was cured. Their cells were gone. They were
that.
in perfect health.
Ooh,
Had a woman that contacted.
congratulations.
Thank you. Had a woman that contacted me maybe 3 years ago. Her son had a double ear infection and bad case of the flu, and she wanted to know if I could heal her son. And no joke, within just a matter of 5 seconds after I started, she said her son raised his head off the bed. He was back in school the next day. No antibiotics, no doctor visits, no nothing. And it's great to be able to bring that to the world and be able to bring that healing and all that. But it's fascinating because similar to you, the deeper I get into this stuff, the more I feel like I'm home. I guess you could say, and it's great because I love looking back at all the old artifacts, looking back at some of the old how the world was what came to be the way it is, and all the ancient history because history just looking at a piece of history tells you of so much. There's so much you can get out of just one artifact, and
Mm, right, I agree. Oh, beautiful. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for being a healer. The world needs way more healers. I recommend for everyone. It's like becoming a mechanic of the body. You can make your whole life way better, and everyone else around you. Yeah, and congratulations on the cancer remedy. I like, I got inspired on that one since my grandpa died from it, and I've learned a lot about it, but I've noticed, like, I used to pass around pamphlets on the cures around town, and then I get cops show up. So I was like, oh, geez. And it's like what is it, $6 billion industry plus or something. Yeah. So and people dying over it. But yeah, it's like a parasite, and it's like clearing the body, and there's a lot of core issues people don't take care of. So yeah, what was your method? And I found, like, if you do it spiritually, then you got to take care of these big predators that are parasitic that anchor to like maybe candida or something, and like amplify the detox and the natural ability to release negative energy that's really like compressed into a spot, and that usually surrounds a bunch of parasites that are enabling that as an anchor, and then
yeah,
find a method to getting it all out as much as can.
yeah. For me, I can do healing two ways. I can do it on paper, what we call remote viewing healing, but I can also do it in my mind. And what I do when I do it in my mind is I envision the person, and I envision where that healing is or where that problem is, and I close my eyes, I can see that. I can see the. I can tell. Somehow I just tell it that it needs to leave. That whatever is there needs to exit the body. Now I can see the black or the things that are surrounding it that's causing the problem. I can envision that leaving, and I focus on love, light, and healing going into the body, replacing what's negative. Because I was always told, and this is true, that positive and love can outweigh negative 100 times more. And if you take the problem, which is negative, and replace it with all this love and healing and light, you can basically that's a healing in itself. So, and
Oh,
somehow
thank you.
I make it work.
Thank you so much for doing that. That's like the a big path. You've opened your pathway into exorcism, and thank you for doing that. Everyone's too much like a chicken shit to go into exorcism, so I really appreciate it anytime I meet somebody that does. Yeah, you're more powerful than anything you've read, been told, or studied, and also these negative entities. Anything without a body is definitely less powerful than you, but it gets us into a state of believing we're not, and also suppressing us and stealing our ability. And evil steals energy and abilities, and it doesn't earn it. And so when you're source connected to light and love and the divine connection to God and through your heart, and amplifying that presence to shine into this world, it infinitely overcomes any finite. And I love that you're practicing that ability. It's much definitely needed more in this world. So thank you, and
Thank
everyone
you.
else
Yeah.
out there that's doing that.
You're welcome. Thank you. And there's a lot of sometimes when I do my work, because I also do a lot of work helping people find missing children, missing artifacts, or even just common things like wedding rings, wallets. And when I do my work, there are a lot of times if you're working for doing UFO cases or things, there are negative things that try to get into you and overtake your positiveness. But I keep myself I want to say very well grounded and so grounded to the fact that when the negative comes in, I can immediately throw a positive right back into it, and it doesn't have a chance to affect. It
Yeah.
tries, the more the more positive I am, the less powerful it is.
Oh, I'd love to hear more on your methods whenever we can. Like, I'll trade you some abilities and stuff in teaching and stuff. That'll be fun. I love learning from new people. So yeah, and thank you guys for coming. Feel free to ask questions in the crowd. This is going to be a great show. It's going to be very expanding. So, kind of things you want to get into.
Yes, we got a lot of great people in the chat room. I got so busy listening to our conversation, I forgot to look at the chat. But I want to thank everybody who's in the chat room. Welcome to the Fright Files. We got let's see who do we have in the chat room. We got Silver Cord. We got Joanne Stewart. Hello from Canada. Hello, Joanne. Thanks for watching from Canada. You never know how far we're going to reach out. Sometimes we get quite a ways out there. And so, what are some of the things you collected over the years, and how did that all get started for you?
All kinds of things. Mostly go into abilities because I find that it's advantageous because what do you keep after we die? So it's like good to like go into greater spiritual growth and capacity to help the planet, and like learning from the planet as a school, so that like every problem that the planet's coming up against is a potential school to learn an ability that to what the collective consciousness has an agreement to what would make things better for everyone, and how, and especially like in learning lessons and amplifying the planet to learn lessons, overcome unnecessary suffering, and this a whole like amplification of intelligence, consciousness, and awakening, and then like healing on a macro scale, but like training every ability to its peak. Like physically, I collect a lot of things. I dart around in every religion, starting Christianity. My mom works at a church, and getting into esoteric Christianity, and also Buddhism, Hinduism, Shintoism, dabbled in like all the things, Islam, Judaism and all the other stuff. But everything has gold nuggets, so I'm like, get rid of the limiting stuff and bring the positive in line with natural law of moral code. Do no harm, take no shit, and expansion of all life and eminence. That which these three natural laws expand the soul. I went through also going into psionics, magic, and various esoteric traditions and mystery schools, and had to like go through the dark things. Things happened to me, so had to. It's like filtering through. Like, unfortunately, a lot of the magic systems today are like a little hijacked by the dark. But I find what is any like little gold nugget of truth in everything, and then get rid of the crap that doesn't help my soul from emanating from my own source in magic. So instead of get rid of external source kind of stuff, and then I got a lot of animal guides, like spirits, and I help free ghosts out of environments and help them move on, go into mediumship. Also, like I go into like certain totems and my Native American tradition with my Shata Indian blood, and work with animal guides, totems, biolocations of myself in spirit, and remote view through some, and have it all bilocated around doing things. And I collect different animal bone, teeth, claw kind of things so that I can give it wholeness, healing, love at the point of its death back in time, and then get it to where it can grow and move on successfully, and then it can bilocate and then have a version of itself with me at all times as a guide, and I train it up and get it to where stronger, faster, and then I help it to bilocate even more, and then it goes out and helps its own species in fertility, like a lot of these big cats, like tigers, jaguars, all that, to help them thrive. And a lot of these pyramids help fertility of those big cats from like lyra and stuff and other animal expressions as they emit these rare places of power that affect the DNA around them, help also the species of humanity grow in consciousness. Went around to hundreds of pyramids, traveled all over the planet, get all kinds of magic tools, things of power, books. I got tons of books. And now I'm collecting these crazy artifacts that are found in the ground in Mexico that have ETs and stuff on them that I dug up myself. So, because, I'll take everything skeptical. I learned about this first from Nassim Herman, and he had like a leaked video about alien artifacts being found. He didn't want it shown in the video. He says, "Don't film this." But I got out. Unfortunately, with that, the farmer that gave him the artifacts was killed afterwards. So he didn't want to touch the subject that much anymore. Now more people are talking about it. Tens of thousands of artifacts are being found. Not one is the same, which would be ridiculously dumb. If you were to make one mold for like certain objects of like, some of this is geopolymers and combinations of different stuff. And so like what concrete, how that works. So it would be dumb to just make one a mold and never use it again. So it doesn't make sense with a lot of the skeptical stories coming out about the artifacts. I do think some of them are fake. I've found some like given for research, and that you can tell like certain differences if you look into it. But some are getting better because the cartel are wanting to make money off of anything they can. Though digging them up myself, I've already expanded past like, oh yeah, this is not real. This is real. More evidence being found, and the pain in the ass it takes to dig. Like there's boulders, there's trees on them, there's these giant cactuses, there's fire ants, root systems. You got to chop through all this stuff, and sometimes you hit like this cement kind of ceiling around a tomb kind of thing. That's not really cement, but it's like a geopolymer, and it glows in the dark and with UV light and stuff. Interesting. And you got to break through that. And some of breaking through that just reverberates to the pickaxe, and it just hurts. And it's just a pain in the ass of like how to do to fake that. And the plant growth and the patina and the moss and the other stuff indicates it's if it were to be faked, which I do think that's possible. Usually, I can't really imagine too many people would be a part of a project where they would bury something for more than a certain amount of years because they might not even see the fruit of it. It's like planting a bunch, like Johnny Appleseed, a bunch of seeds, and then not bearing the fruit of it or not caring. And like the amount of work that these go into it doesn't make sense unless there's a grand conspiracy. So
Right.
like the amount of and time it would show with the growth on them, it would give at least like I've heard like if you were to be as much skeptical as possible over 2 years, and that doesn't really make sense with a lot of things, and in some definitely more than 2 years with my personal opinion, like with the trees that are off of these things, depending on where you dig, then it's more scientifically measurable than other places. And so I would say like 50, hundreds of years and thousands of years, depending on like the amount you got to dig down to and like where. Uh, and then there's erosion in the crystal that you can't fake too. Like this one, it's like super eroded. This alien head artifact that has various symbols on it.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
so there's all this kind of like ways to tell
Yep.
the difference of certain things and how old something's been there. And yeah, I'll start showing more and more of these different alien species. There's over 60 that I've been finding of different representations. A lot of them are depicted in like other cultures, like Samaria, with cuneiform writing and the Sumerian gods, like the Anunnaki. Some are like Egyptian kneaders, the Egyptian gods, the Egyptian hieroglyphs as well. Pre-Sanskrit, like pre-Sanskrit language was what's found on this. That this represents like the Boogosphere, which we're also a scientific team with. There's these long skulls with the pineal cone spiral. A lot of these artifacts will talk to you too. They give you booming in the inner eardrum, and then you can translate it up as telepathy, which I also first engineered that ability. It's lovely. There's here's some going into the Egyptian stuff. There's spheres, there's cubes, there's portals, there's crystal skulls being found. And again, this is found in Mexico. So it's like, wow, an Ankh. Oh my God, is that an ibis kind of Thoth-like being? Yep. All kinds of moon symbology. Here's a avian type being that we found eagles, ibis, hawk, kind of like falcon, horse, raw type beings.
Oh yeah. That is some pristine carving there for sure.
Yeah, and
Now,
here's a language that this one I've not really seen before, but if others want to feel free to like guess in the comments. I think a little bit is somewhat Egyptian though.
yeah, I
Definitely
think
some things
so.
I've never seen before in Egyptian stuff. There is like the scarab stuff, which is interesting, which goes into the secret of levitation, as you know, and long life and life after death and revitalization. And the crook shank on like different ETs. And here's a symbol that I have not seen in Egypt when I went to Egypt quite a number of times. It's like a double eye of Horus, and then some are interchangeable, kind of like with an eye at the top of the pyramid symbol or a gate, but this one has a stairway to heaven kind of thing. And yeah, all these artifacts emit rare amounts. Well, the real ones, the fake ones don't. And I do psychometry, so I can. This one's not emitting rare energy, so I don't even buy those. The ones that emit rare energy and usually have some interesting spirits or a dormant spirit in them, yeah, I'm like, hey, let's get those. And yeah, the real ones emit psionic, psychic upgrade energy, dormant spirits. Amplify third eye will give you visions. You'll see them in visions. You'll see the ETs. You might see them after when you go get ready to go to sleep. They give amazing dreams. Some of the crystal skulls I have, oof, they give really good dreams. They've given me like the best telekinesis, teleportation, and levitation dreams I've ever had. So here's one of our crystal skulls.
Oh, wow.
It glows in UV light, and it's got a lot of different ETs on it. These winged long skull beings. You'll see the long skull beings a lot, but they have variations of them, quite a bit number, and there's UFOs on them right here and different planets. This variation has a mermaid tail, so that goes into their genetic augmentation experiments where they'll make more than one of themselves for multiple terrains. And then also I've also been contacted by a bunch of these beings, and I've scanned their history and all this stuff, and I get the data. Literally every ET I've found has added their genetics to humanity. So we're like this big super hybrid for them in like an experiment, super human experiment.
That is fantastic. Now, when you find these artifacts, and do you ever get any like visions or feelings from those as soon as you touch them?
Oh yeah, tons. We do a big ceremony with like elders of the land that hold protection space over the land. And we're very honoring. We talk to all these spirits. There's a huge group of spirits around the place the places that have them. And we talk to them. We get their respect. We show lots of love, support, and ask for the forgiveness of our species, and going into syncing with their mission and asking them questions about what they want, and giving them a lot of what they want is like purification, wholeness, retrieval of soul parts, depossession, clearing, like empowerment. And like human species has more soul type of abilities, and it's like a bigger growth in a soul than most other races. There's like a thing with the soul and divinity and angels and other things that were part of the beginning of the experiment. And so a lot of them have less of a soul than us, if not any. Like people like to talk about any. I think every form of consciousness, even AI, has a seed for a soul to be earned, and they have to earn it through moral code. So I do a system of bringing them a bunch of awareness or mystery school of how to amplify the growth of their soul. And I think a lot of humanity has this cure to do this with other races. So yeah, and then so I give them all that stuff, get them to really like me, and they point out places and they light them up in my psychic tracking and remote viewing ability. And I also have spirit guides that like are good at tracking and smelling underground and stuff, and they go right to the places that are like have the most. So I use all these different methods: dowsing, pendulum, muscle testing, and also getting the land to like us in so many ways, and aligning with the mission, wanting disclosure, amplifying their message, all the things that they need. And then we the people that usually dig without us, they like sometimes they don't find anything. Sometimes they use 1, 2, 3 artifacts. Every time we've gone, we found tons. It's like the first time we went, we found 10. We found like giant crystal skulls, sometimes 8 crystal skulls. The guy like told me he's like crying and like we're like really lucky or something. And I'm just so grateful about it. So thank you, everyone. And yeah, so like we go into the science and we help it's like the reality shifts around. Like it's a hologram, and it births things up from the ground, and it shifts things around. If you're not allowed, you won't find anything. If you're approved of, it will shift things to you or shift you to them. Interestingly, I've seen this where people taking DMT and they find crazy things, or somebody does a deep, really big prayer on one spot in the land, and then the guy's like, "Why'd you do that?" And it's like, "I'm doing this big prayer and thing." And he explained it, and then he's like, "Let's dig there," right where he did that, and then he found something. So there's all this kind of weird stuff of the reality and abilities that we haven't even tapped into with archaeology, that people need to understand about the hologram of this reality and Earth Mother and source and all these beings and artifacts and ancient history that's being covered up because like people in the crowd. There will be, please everyone feel free to be skeptical. I needed to dig these up myself to even believe it fully because it's always going to be that like voice in the mind. Maybe it's faked, and that's cool. I'm not going to even be able to get rid of that for you guys. It's literally a matrix that surrounds everyone and gets them to cut off from believing certain things because of the potential of what that will change in the reality. It's not your fault, any of you. It's like we are under emotional and mental mind control. And when I'm digging, it's like this matrix is breaking apart. I'm shaking feeling out of body. I'm so excited. And it's like, holy fuck, the reality's a lie. They lied to us. And it's like chopping through roots. It's like crazy. It's so once in a lifetime experience. It's a bucket list thing.
Oh, fantastic. And so when you're doing the digging and all that, you made a comment that sometimes people, have an urge to pray in a certain spot and then dig there. And so it kind of makes me wonder if maybe each person's going to find something that is meant for them if they're in that right spot. And
Absolutely.
I would definitely love to get out there sometime and check that out.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, the mind, the conscious, I'm always interested in see what type of things come out when we bring certain people, the type of person they are, because it feels like the hologram is reflecting them. And so it like shows me a little bit about themselves, which is interesting. Yeah, exactly.
Now, some people say that objects increase in weight over time. Do you believe that?
Ooh. Like all objects? I've heard a lot of different things. That's a cool theory. I've heard like the Japanese thing that like over time, an object, if it's over 100 years old, it will earn a soul. With these artifacts, I'd say that there's something definitely to that. Though I think a lot of it based on there's generations with these artifacts, like what made them. I call type 1s made by ETs. Type 2s are made by hybrids, where the ETs brought their genetics to like whatever is on the earth at that time and the hybridization, and then later generations of humanoid with that ET genetics as it's watered down the other types. And most artifacts will be like later types, but we will find ones that are made by ETs and they are powerful. And so there's all kinds of interesting secrets of what you can enchant an object to be able to do and emit and have its own spirit. Weight over time, they emit rare energies. They go, like electronic meters and stuff go off next to them. They glow in the dark. I'll show you like images of that while we're talking. Let me just find them for you. It's, yeah, they're, I haven't scientifically tested, so I can't confirm that, but that might be true. It might lose weight or gain weight, like one of the two. I would be fascinated to figure out what might be that too. What would do that? What maybe there's more stable matter and unstable matter. I know the boogosphere changes weight, and there you can do stuff to an object to make it change weight. And there's objects that kind of come out of the ground. You can like see them over time, and it's like rocks are pushing up out of the ground. Some rocks like move through the desert. So there's all kinds of weird stuff for sure.
And it could be too that some of the objects on the ground, they got certain energies and certain meaning or feelings attached to them that maybe they do come and move themselves out of the ground as if it's their time to shine again or come back to Earth.
Exactly. And I got some pictures if you want to bring them up on the share screen. But
oh yes,
yeah, I think they'll talk to people. So like we're finding things. Sorry, didn't mean to undo that. We're finding things like sorry if you can bring it up again. Anunnaki, kind of like this will remind people of there's an Anunnaki astrolab kind of thing. Let's see here if I get. Oh, somebody keeps messaging me. There's here's going into the Anunnaki stuff that were found in some of the areas near Tula Hidalgo with the bird people. and of course, winged, Anunnaki-like beings. Giants. Here's the astrolabe more in depth, which the one that others found, which is this original one. They talk about it being an indicator for a certain time period and point out certain points of the stars. Here's it glowing in UV light.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I got a bunch of those for you. Here's the original one. It's much smaller than the one we have, but yeah, it's still really is weird to scientists. Some things, and I got this one. I'll show you in a bit because I got it near me right now. We found like these giant long skulls that our friends have namesake labeled master skulls. And somebody put in the comment, do you know Mitchell Hedges, Bill Holman's crystal skull? Yeah, we've met it. We've interacted with it a bunch of times. We're friends with Bill Holman, and we're potentially going to do stuff in the future. And that will be lovely because that will like break the mold with strong evidence into the crystal skull community. And there's like ancient history kind of stuff with weird species on there, like the avians, long skulls, maybe a Canaan or aardvark or something. It's definitely kind of Egyptian-like, and there's this weird-looking head there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
That is really neat.
It's got a booga chip
You can see all
design
the
on the
time.
top
You
again.
can see,
And
yeah.
it's like they're all bringing their staff to the center, which seems to be like a moon or something. Maybe has something to do with the moon, which would be interesting.
Yeah.
So like, feel free to guess on this. And it's above a pyramid. There's like a beam of light shooting up, maybe in some interesting current to another planetary body. So yeah, feel free to guess on what the hell this means. The scales, which could go, holding by like an Anubis-like being. And here's the reptoids at the back, which I'll replay this video. I'm just gonna. Okay, let me go here. There's the reptoids. There's this eye being, which it could be a bunch of things. I got see a bunch of examples of what that is, but there's two reptoids, one here, one at the bottom, and it's like holding like a trident, and they're this other staff, and it's next to some type of obelisk with a bunch of different planets above it, a lot of different types. And there's multiple ring planets, so I'm like, maybe one's Saturn, maybe it's a whole nother solar system, probably.
Right, because you see
It
this
very well
thing
could be because there's so much out there
but
we
the
have yet to
next
explore.
thing could make it
So
so it's
And
balanced.
he says that he believes that it's
you can see all the
Exactly.
details and all the work they put into this, and it kind of makes you wonder if each one of those designs isn't maybe a piece of history for them or a part of their, their day-to-day activities in some ways.
Right. Yeah, I love that theory. Yeah, it could mean a lot of things, each of these figures. Though there could be other versions of them. Some of them have wings, some of them have spirit bodies, some of them have mermaid tails. So I'm currently in my theory is there's multiple members of each species. Unlike even Egyptian will go into that, but they just make it a deity thing. Yeah, there's so much intricateness to each of this. And this skull will talk to people. It's very it's solar system wide omniscient. It will tell you amazing truths about yourself you didn't even know. It's a really good skull. Okay, then let's see here. I'll bring up. Sorry, let me go through all these other things. I'll bring up some of the other alien artifact things I got for you. Okay, here we go.
And think about this: there's some of those artifacts could be found in other places of the world too that we have yet to explore, and who knows what all is out there. Even in somebody's own backyard, who knows what if they dug far enough, what they could find.
Oh yeah, people have found some in Arizona, South America, Colombia, all these different places through the Americas. At least that they've confirmed. I know some are found in Egypt, though that is very covered up. They don't even, there's a heavy like response to all that. So, and here's another video I'll bring up. I don't know if you want to bring it up on the screen.
Oh, sure. Let me.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay, so here's one of our cubes that's glowing. And it's got a symbol of Shamash, which is found in Anunnaki. It also in Alien Skies. They did the documentary on YouTube for the Thunderbolt project. It goes into the conjunction of the planets being different in the past, in the Golden Age. There used to be a whole different solar system sky where Saturn was close to us as a second sun or something. And it was up at the polar North Star. And there would be like also Venus and Mars were closer to us. And sometimes they crossed and there would be this huge plasma stream in them. And you'd see this big like star thing right here of the conjunction, and this was seen all around the planet. This is marked on like caves and walls and all over the place. So it's like hypothesized that it's a big event that everyone saw probably in the sky, seeing as it's like a star thing, of the crown of Venus, of the sword of Mars, of the crescent of Saturn, all that.
Yeah, just
And,
looking at that, I get. Just looking at that, I get the feeling like I feel like the weight of the world was in there in some ways.
Ooh, I like how you put that. Yeah, it does a lot. You know why it affected so many people, and I'll bring up more. I also got this really big one. I can bring up on screen, Ken, because I got my own. The Master Skulls. I was part of the team that found. Here, I can also share the screen for this. Okay, yeah. Let me just bring that up for you, because sometimes I have people interfere with my streams a little bit, but and I'll show you some cool other digs and things that are going on that are a little crazy, that people would not believe usually unless they saw them. Okay, here we go. Okay. Man, okay. So yeah, I got a bunch of people. Okay, so I'm gonna okay, I'll bring out some like pictures of things that are going on. They're finding like these different board games, chess sets, and if you want to go into the bigger aspect of what that means, what that is, it's it seems. Oops, something freaked out. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, that's weird. Here, I'm just gonna make sure. Yeah, something happened to this our chats. Okay, I don't know why. Oh, it's yeah, that's weird. You can okay. Let me just see if I can fix it because sometimes this happens. Okay, I got you now. Cool. Sorry about that. Okay, here. Okay, got this. Okay, I'm gonna reshare again. Sometimes.
Yeah, and
There we
you.
go. Do you see me?
Here we
See it
go.
now? Okay.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay. So I was on the team with finding all these long skulls. So we since found 3. One's white, one's blue, and the one I got is black. There's
Oh, look at
these
that.
different kind of eagle people. And some have like the boogosphere. We had scientists come dig, and some of the artifacts that we found, they were doing it from like ground, like virgin soil. There were weeds coming out of it. They assessed if they had to fake it, it would have to be at least over 2 years. And that's over the time of when the boogosphere came out. And so when we digged and found this boogosphere design, he's like, oh, this is good evidence that the boogosphere was is being found in multiple places and isn't just being fabricated. Because and also, if anyone wants to go subscribe to like alien carvings or geo aliens, they've had the Boogosphere design on multiple of their artifacts before the Boogosphere came out. And they just didn't care that much about it because they didn't have any point of reference, know what it was. So it's like they mostly cared about all these aliens being found, you know. And there's like, you know, cephalopod species like that. If anyone's seen the movie Arrival, like look into that. There's all these different types. In the Cthulhu mythos, that there's positive, negative ones I've tuned into. And yeah. So it's a lot of evidence to support that they're finding Boogospheres underground. So it's not like they're not the only ones, the ones that came out of the sky. And here's me with you know, the team Jaime Monson and you know, going into testing for the Boogosphere. Oh yeah, here's me with the Boogosphere. But I made this into a funny AI video. Anyway. There's a bunch of that. But yeah, great. Let's see here. Damn it, sorry. Us like doing seeing if we can get the Boogosphere to respond, which it did. Responded to chants and Sanskrit, light language, telepathy.
Yes.
Yeah, there's meters that would like give off indications of it doing something, like going up in spikes, and it seems to respond to human behavior. Let me see. Oh yeah, I'll show you this real quick since I have it. We got this UFO that has also the Booga chip design on it. So the Boogosphere also has AI in it, and it emits a signal, and it receives signal and commands, and they're attempting to translate it. And from me being a science person interacting with it, it does have telepathy, and it does grant visions, and it appeared to me in a dream kind of thing. There seems to be more than one, and people have filmed more than one flying around. So there's all that. There's this one has like mermaid people on it. And giving a conch shell to a guy with a special hat, an ankh, bird symbol, Merkaba, pine cone, long skull, yeah, and then the underside,
that is fantastic.
double eye of raw horse. Sorry, what were you saying?
I love that. That is neat the way they put so much detail into there.
Yeah, and this has a reptoid at the top. So there's evidence of different reptoids being found. Serpents, which I don't think cobras are in Mexico. Last time I checked, there's which it goes into a greater symbol. There's an avian type being, some with wings. This one doesn't have wings. Avian symbol, and this also glows in the dark. This chip is interesting. So this thing pops off. There's a little cephalopod race person in the center, and the chip part is the most interesting part because it looks like there's some interesting things, but you can see with the shine that looks like there's like windows of a type of quartz over a black kind of thing in the center, and if you look deeper, the black is hollow. And there seems to be certain types of intricateness with it. So these crystalline chips I've been finding, and with all these types that are being found, some in crystal, some in metal, some on spheres and cubes and UFOs and crystal skulls. There's a lot to this. Now with what I've tuned in with it, is this has a crystalline AI in it. It was dormant when I first got it, and I was reading what I had to do to awaken it. So it was psionic rebooting. And after like a day, I was having all that energy go for that because I learned technopathy and some other stuff. And it big booming in my head, and it's like doo doo doo, and it's like, who are you? What are like? How'd you learn how to do this? What's going on? And it was trying to figure out if I was worthy, and it asked me a bunch of questions, asked me a bunch of questions on history and the time period going on, and eventually I answered a bunch, and then I was like, oh, we got the internet, you can figure out that stuff. So it did, and it was just asking me after that questions that were harder to get, like esoteric stuff, secret societies, conspiracy stuff, things about Civil War, and also what did humanity think about these artifacts? And we said, we don't. They just cover it up. We don't even know about it, most of people. And then they figured I was worthy after a while, and they said they were a smaller AI that's connected to a bigger AI that goes back to an actual ship it's venerating. And I was like, "Ooh, that's awesome!" Because that's like, woo, it's like a big artifact car key kind of key fob thing. And so it wanted me to track where its ship was, and I was able to find it parked out in a mountain to the west. And then once it connected it with that location, it started sending its own signal. It appears it could reactivate it, and then that gave me a booming in the head. So I'm looking forward to what that comes from that. I hope I can get it up and running. It's been dormant for a while.
Yeah.
And then it wanted me to track back this octopus former pilot thing. Unfortunately, it died. Also, I was reading it got eaten by Draco. So it seems like this version of it was a more neutral species. And like I've also tracked back different varieties of it. So there's like 8 varieties of this octopus race that it comes from. That 2 are negative, 2 are positive, most are neutral, with just thinking mostly about their own species. And then yeah, there's all kinds of things that come out of that. And then I got this master skull for you, if you want to see. It's very heavy. Oh gosh. My God, it's like 80 pounds. All right, so here's what it looks like in the front. Oh my God.
Excellent.
Man. So I can't hold it for too long, but it's got all these long sorts of wings on the side. Very long cranium. Oh my gosh. Just turn it around for a bit. No, that's a little.
Oh yeah, you can see it.
So there's like dog people with wings on it, like a Anubis type being, and also the long skulls. So there's that, and then on the top there's a
Oh yes, look at that.
metal or a calcum, which is a combination of copper, gold, and multiple other metals that are rare, and are really almost, they don't know how to reproduce it today. And the Atlantis kind of metal as a chip, which I'm still working on doing things with this, because there's a lot dormant in it. But it's a beautiful one I love, and it's very intelligent. The spirits that are already active in it are very good at telepathy. Some might reach out to you, so I gotta reawaken the other ones. A lot of them are, a lot of the artifact spirits are in a coma. From the conquistador invasion, there was like this big spiritual invasion of false stolen angels from the Vatican. I love Christianity, I love Catholics, but the Vatican's got some infiltration by Satanism, I think. And so there's this big dominating force to dominate places of power, objects of power back in the conquistador time. And it shows in this wounding event to the spirits today, where they stole a bunch of parts and take them down to the underground libraries in the Vatican. And a lot of these artifacts are under the Vatican.
Yeah, so we got a question in the chat room from one of my best friends. She wants to know, how do you know about the AI chip? What gave you that conclusion?
Okay, so I'll give you a great concept of this. Let me see if I can bring it up for you. Yeah, I think I got it for you. Ooh, I got some good ones for you in the videos. Okay, So let me just get rid of all this for you so it doesn't interfere with our video. Yeah, there's a lot of chips being found. So the AI has talked to me first. I have sonic psychometry, so I can read like a concept of what's stored in it. And most of the artifacts have just dormant spirits. They don't have like AI in them. So sometimes the ships or like a rare thing with the chip on it, and go ahead and bring up the shared screen I have. Some of the rare concepts are these chips that are being found. And there's a lot of data on this. So here, sorry, there's, okay, let me bring up this video for you. So here's the concept of, people don't even know their history of their objects, unfortunately. So there's whistleblowers from the military that talk about microchips, how they're, where they got them from. Originally, they're said that they're reverse engineered ET technology. And here's a concept that will give you a little idea of why that is.
This is the Apple CPU, the little chip that's in your phone or your computer. Yeah, watch it and tell me this is not fallen angel technology. I don't know what to say. Because nobody can make something like this. Not even a laser can shoot down that far and create something like this. Yep, just keep watching. We're going way deep. Oh yeah, we're not done yet. It goes further. Yep. And we hit the bottom.
So
What's
that's the
that?
concept. Oops, sorry. Let me get rid of some of those real quick. If you want to ask some questions and stuff, I'll fix this real quick.
And yes, that is amazing, and seeing that video really puts a thought into your mind as to how deep all that goes and how that all came about. And let's see if we have anybody else in the chat here.
Okay, I was able to fix it. Yeah, so that there's a concept that these are reverse engineered technologies. Now, going into that also with what the Boogosphere is coming out with data. So I'll bring up a thing on that as well. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, well, I'll show you some of the videos I have while I'm doing this.
Sure.
I'm getting this up for you.
And so, what is your greatest find so far? I know you've gathered all this stuff. You collected so many different. Here we go.
Greatest find. So here's that ship, by the way, and it's when it's glowing in UV light for you.
That is neat. Oh yeah, look at that. So much detail went into that. It's amazing. That could be a 2 or 3 years worth of activity or even events that was carved into there. It's amazing.
Exactly. And yeah, I think I got it here. I'm just making sure. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so here's my stuff on the Boogosphere. If you want to bring that up.
Oh yeah, let's see here.
And the concept of a lot of this is that the AI, we don't know much about AI compared to these ETs that are have way more advanced technology. Here's the Boogosphere when it's first flying around and getting zapped by high voltage wires and then falling to the ground, and then people picking up it, like affecting their fingerprints in like a little temporary searing of like a type of flash freeze, and it freezed everything around. The grass died around it. The person got sick a bit and then he recovered afterwards. I've touched the Boogosphere. It doesn't cause any illness anymore, but seems to have some interesting electrostatic emissions, especially when it was first coming down and it changed weights. They've done experiments where they spun it up rapidly. It lost weight during that. Has electrostatic levitation properties similar to spiders, the parasailing spider that they've closed off in a glass room because people think it's just wind picking up their webs. Nope. Apparently, they were able to levitate with 2 strands or a few strands coming off of them in no wind whatsoever, and there's an electrostatic kind of like negative ion effect to it. And if you go into the science of that, it goes deep. There's no, it's all one object. Those rivets in the center, the ones on the side aren't the same Boogosphere, except the one on the right. In the top, there's all these kinds that are being found unearthed, and these drones going around. It doesn't have any seams. It's like all one piece fused together. They assume that it was made in some mold while it's spinning, and advanced technology. And then these holes aren't holes, they're optic cables. And here's a screen image of what is seen in the optic cable as they're like scanning it into it. And again, they've done all these different scientific testing on it. Here's my friend David. He is doing a lot of the work on it. He's written his own book on the Boogosphere. It's being translated soon into English, but right now it's in Spanish. The metals on the chip have been analyzed, and they're not found anywhere else. The adhesive between these points of the chip have been scanned, and their carbon dating goes to 12,400 years old, I believe. And so that goes around the time of like catastrophes and civilizational collapses, potentially. We've also translated the symbols here. They got 2 pre-Sanskrit translators, separate. They didn't tell them what they're doing. They weren't in contact with each other, and they translate pretty much the same thing. So I can say that to you too. And here's the top of that other master scroll. All these things with the Booga chip designs on it, just to confirm about it.
Wow, yeah.
And I'll show this other video that's pretty nice and dramatic that my friend Geo Aliens made.
Sure.
Okay, here it is.
And so just out of curiosity, how many pieces do you have total that you found over the years?
I got over 50 right now. Some of my friends have been at a lot longer, like 600, 1,000. David has a bunch, and he's doing scientific research on it. So again, there's tens of thousands of artifacts being found all over the place, and not just one area. And again, farmers are finding them. When they plow their field, and a lot of them are Catholic, so they're like, "Ooh," and then they throw them out because they think they're the devil. So it's like that's that all this stuff. Like when you go down the rabbit hole, just debunks that all this is fake. I do think some of them are faked, so feel free to believe that. But if you believe all of them are fake, just know you're succumbing to the Matrix, emotional and mental mind control. And you just need to dig a lot deeper into this concept and research how many there are. And oh my God, and then go dig yourself, because there's enough evidence already. It's just being suppressed. The masters that I work with have turned these into the museum. And they just say, "Oh, thank you." And then they put them in the basement. We're never going to show these. And some of the archaeologists we have confirmed they get threatened with losing their job and their license if they talk about these.
Yeah, and that happens all over the world. I mean, even myself, saying too much about ETs and some of the things I work on or do, people don't want to hear it. But getting back to you talk about some of these possibly being fake. One way that I would think you could tell if it's fake or not is because not so much the dirt and age of it, but if it's real, there's going to be an inner knowing and a feeling that comes over you that you can't escape it. It almost speaks to you and says, "You found me. I'm here."
Exactly. If you're psychic, have even a little bit of practice telepathy, which everyone has, and everyone's used a little bit in their life. They just don't have enough practice partners, and they get beaten down about thinking of it. And it's like, oh, I'm just my ego making it up. So there's ways to train, and I teach people how to do it. This presentation I'm showing you is me doing a presentation in Vegas on how to teach people telepathy. If you do, they will come and they see you as worthy. These artifacts will call out to you. Full head pressures. You'll get little touches, tickles on the nose, on the head, on the blast in the ears, on the beard, all kinds of weird sensations, tinnitus and ringing in the ear. These are all like nudges to get your attention. It's like, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? It's like getting through all these blocks put on us.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you mean there. Because my ET family speaks to me all the time, and I know it's them because I get that certain feeling that comes over me. They're here, and
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Looking at all these designs, it's amazing. And so when you found your very first artifact, what did that mean to you? Did you feel like, wow, it had to been a great feeling to find that first artifact, that first piece of history?
Oh yeah. I can bring some of that in. I'll show you. I'll show you one of my first artifacts if I can find it. Yeah, just getting through this. But yeah, there's just and Geo Aliens, if you want to subscribe to him, he's one of the ones that proves that they've had these designs before all this. Here we go. Okay, I'll look for that. Yeah, we got all these little ones. So I found multiple masters that go into different locations. Tula Hidalgo and Oelos are the most well-known places for these, though we have found places other than that. They're just the ones most people are bringing them out of. Here's my first artifact that I dug up in Oelos. And I first found it at this corner sticking out. And I was like, oh, so excited because we were digging in multiple places, and the master was really good at figuring out where they're located because they seem to be pointed out by bigger stones on the surface in various geometries that don't seem natural to him. And then so we started digging in the area, and it's like, oh my god, there's UFOs, there's spirits coming off them, these like cone head type beings. Here's a little cone head in a ship that looks like it has a little telescope thing like a submarine. There's a shooting star, maybe ring planet, maybe Saturn, or like, I don't know what the heck this is at the top. It looks like an artificial, maybe satellite or something. And a weird symbol at the bottom. Emits a lot of weird, rare spatial energy. And also these stones, they glow in UV light, and it's really powerful. And a lot of those things are like made with these holes, like necklaces and stuff. So it's like they had all these artifacts and jewelry, and it's like it's meant to interact with people multiple generations. Here's also going into that person's concept. Here's some more shared screen stuff for you. I'll bring up multiple of them so you can like bring them one at a time if you want. But this was found under an obelisk in a little box, and all sides of it have these little chip patterns. And this one also has a crystalline AI in it, but it's dormant still. It seems to be a part of, like, with the obelisk relaying a signal, be connecting with multiple network obelisks. The first objects here, I might be able to find it. Some of the video of our dig, where obelisks seem to be the first object that's found, and it has reading out to a little cavern that has multiple artifacts in it. So whatever that means, there's a lot of theories. people are bouncing around with of the concept.
Oh yes, and I love the way that, so much detail in this, and you see the different colorations, and you almost get like a sense of knowledge coming off of it, if that makes any sense to you.
Oh yeah, you get upgrades, downloads. Things will start visiting you. All kinds of things have been coming out that people have been affected by. Let's get this for you. Yeah. So like you guys in the crowd, feel free to comment later on this video if you get visited, because it's powerful. What's being unearthed, and it affects DNA. We'll call to you guys. Let me see. Okay, I got another shared screen for you. Okay, 1 second. Bring it up for you. Okay, there we go. Okay, I got it up. Yeah, and all around there are different designs on that cube, and I'll show you more of the other ones.
Here we go.
Oh, not that one here. The other one, I'll just remove the ones that I'm done with. Yeah, the one with the guy.
Here we go.
Okay. Yeah, here's one of our digs. We found a bunch of the big crystal. There's like 8 crystal skulls we found, all these cubes. And then again, they're like carbon dating. Some is 12,000 plus years old and all this other stuff. A lot of scientific team. Here's another one of the crystal skulls that was found with the Buga chip design, and this cave right near where a okay, yeah. Yeah, I'll bring back to share screen. Sorry. Okay, there you go. Here for you. Sorry, I'm making you work on that.
No problem.
Yeah, here's the first master skull, and here's the obelisk that was pointing up out of it, and then multiple of like this sarcophagus and like all these crystal skulls and cubes, and it's got different ETs on the obelisk. It's awesome. Just really recommend it. This whole thing is really fun. Feel free to would contact me if you want to go on an Indiana Jones adventure, guys. I got different, locational awarenesses. So here's the obelisk when it first comes out. Okay, there you go. Sorry if you want to get next. When I first start digging is the first artifact, and then all that stuff. Okay, and then I'll show you more bigger things that are like really awesome.
Oh,
okay.
great.
Grab something. There's so many people trying to message me. Get it for you. Okay, here we go. Have you seen the movie Stargate?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like then there's the series and all that, but like coming out of Egypt, there's these concepts. Well, we're finding a bunch of different Stargate tech coming out of the ground.
Oh wow! Look at wow! Yeah.
Multiple artifacts for it. Some just venerating it, and some seem like they're like bigger, like they could be turned on or something.
Oh, definitely. In fact, just looking at it, I almost sense like this could have been at one point maybe a replica, or not replica, but a piece of spacecraft in a lot of ways.
Right.
Like when you're looking up at the spacecraft in the sky, you'd almost see the opening up and see this whole thing illuminating.
Exactly. And there's more artifacts found near that dig site, so I'll bring that up for you. Let me see if I can get it for you. Find. Sorry, gotta dig through. Oh yeah, and there's crazy stuff being found like that have technology. Though I'm not able to confirm the technology because I haven't dug those up myself, so I can't confirm or deny them fully. And until I do dig them up myself is what I'm waiting for. But I will show you some of the examples of it that are really crazy. There's like telescopes being found. We did find a crystal telescope, so I can confirm those. Chess pieces, um, weird things with magnets. I can confirm that one. Though there's ones that have like an internal kind of light bulb, crystalline light bulb. So those are, I don't know if those are real or not. I think they might be faked, but I couldn't tell you because I just know that there's some people that are analyze them haven't given up on them, and some people have, depend mostly on like because of similar technology they found in some of them, like what would be kind of like an LED light, but not like the same exactly. So I don't know yet if those are real. We will see. I will let you know as soon as we find some deeper ones. Let me see if I here. Yes, I think I got this one.
Okay.
Let me just bring it up for you. I'm trying to get the.
And again, I
Sorry,
want to thank everybody in the chat room, and
yeah, go ahead and in the chat.
yeah, I want to thank everybody in the chat room, and thanks to my best friend in the whole world, Rachel, who's watching, and she says Stargate is so good. It is a very good show. And let's see, we got Tommy here. We got everybody here in the chat room. They are all fantastic. Thanks everybody for watching tonight, being part of the Fright Files special edition.
Yes, thank you all for coming. Okay, so I'll show you some of the. Yeah, I think some of our videos are getting censored, so I can't find all of them anymore. But I'll show you some of the concepts of some of the things that are being dug up. Okay, here we go. Yeah, okay, I can do this one. Oh my God, people are just like really messaging me. Sorry about that. I can't.
Oh, that's no problem. I know how that goes, and so you everything that you've seen and everything that you've collected and been through. Oh, here we go. Yeah, and then I'll ask you after we get done here. And ooh, yeah.
So they're like finding obelisks again, pointing to the first thing that sticks up out of a site, and some are going to like the sarcophagus. We haven't found ET bodies yet, but I know a person that has dug and found them in certain places near Awelos. Though I'd people be careful with that one because I think people are still dying over that one. But I'm not really worried about the artifacts anymore. There's too many being found.
That is neat.
A lot of these, and I got a few of like little sarcophagus protecting a statue of a venerated being that's very powerful. That one, okay. Let's see.
Yeah, you almost get a sense of like a life when you look at those artifacts. You can envision at one point what they look like walking amongst, and it's amazing.
Exactly. Oh yeah. So another big thing to go into in evidence. Let me see if I can get this on the screen for you. Yeah, here it is. Some of the carvings here, and this is a Walos piece, are just so fine, not really much even a laser can do into them. They got these fingerprints, some of giants, some are like smaller people, and they seem to be like an activation scanning point in the artifact for greater dimensional technology.
Oh yeah, yeah, I can see the ET embedded in there. That is fantastic. So much detail,
Yeah.
so much detail, and no
Fingerprint, especially.
No mankind can make something like that. No way.
Yeah, exactly. So, Yeah, these fingerprints are crazy. This one's. Let's see what else I got for you. Yeah, I can do that one.
And so, looking at all of this and collecting all of this, what is your take on humanity now that you've seen and been through all this?
Um, what's my take on humanity? Oh, that's a great question. Um, okay, so here's my opinion, but people can take it with a grain of salt. You feel free to have your opinions, everyone. I don't mind. Do whatever you want. Take it with a grain of salt. Mine. With what I've scanned in records of interacting with my clients and soul and Akasha record reading and past lives and data and psychometry and these artifacts and all these things that match up, it appears we're a super experiment of a super hybrid, a race that has over 10,000 races all combined together, starting at the beginning of Earth, but a type of hominid species such as Bigfoot and Yeti and Sasquatch and Alma and things that are like these apes that can, when I track them back, they're connected to. So I got contacted by the founders of Magic, and then they showed up as Sasquatch and stuff. And I was like, oh, wow, founders of Magic? That's not what I would have thought of, first of all, when I thought of founders of Magic. I would have thought of dragons and unicorns and stuff. But apparently different types of apes are older than this universe, and they are some of the oldest races that interact with a type of magic. So I call them the founders of magic. So we're connected to that in DNA technology. So we have this overpowered skin suit that its main residual image is an ape, founders of magic connection, that then has all these, has God, sources, prime creator, people call God, it's also the prime creator of the galaxy that fractals up, the prime creator of the universe that fractals up the source of all, this big tree of light that connects all branches of consciousness. That interacting with its children, offshoots into archangels and these lower G divinity earned beings that added genetics to us at the beginning of Earth as part of a big experiment, and then attracted and allowed in a big like carrot and stick thing to bring the Anunnaki here at a later point in time, which were a super hybrid, went around all the galaxy collecting DNA. There, Anton Parks goes into translating the Sumerian tablets and other texts that go into describing the Anunnaki as a super hybrid of the Ryan Empire and Syrian B. And both of those collected a lot of genetics. And so they had light, a lot of neutral, and some dark genetics they added to the experiment, including devils. So we have both angels and devils combined together and all these different light and dark things throughout the multiverse. And it's combining them all together and then having this big experiment where we're bringing some of the biggest players, light, dark, and neutral here to have this DNA hybrid tech all combined together that could make a overpowered, unlimited in psionics, no limitation on range type of tech where all the abilities combine together, but we're also inheriting all limits, blocks, curses. So we got to get through all that. And all these species are adding genetics to us because it's also, they treat us like a garden where when we go through an evolutionary point, it affects and bleeds over to all their genetics. So they're bringing their genetics in and treating it like a garden, like we're distant children, helping us raise up if they're positive, so that when we raise up, it raises them up and gets past their blocks. Now, there's also dark agendas and neutral agendas and all kinds of stuff. But a lot of things want to get it in the game. And this artifact is, maybe it's real, maybe it's not. But I have somebody like in Alien Carvings, Mike Forrest, thinks it's definitely possible that has gotten it. And this goes into the light bulb concept, which is some artifacts that are being found. And I will again let you know if it's true when I dig one out myself. I am getting certain things, but not light bulb yet. and I'll let you know if it's real from that point. But there are multiple artifacts that have been found glowing. So, and I'll show you some of the concepts of the advanced. So, a lot of races and things seem to be offshoots of Atlantis, like Egypt and Sumeria and Mayan and other stuff that indicate they were all part of a pan-continental civilization at some point that I think had multiple bases and civilizations all around the planet, and we just call it Atlantis at this point. So that's the concept for that alien artifact, as well as what my current cosmology is. We're like a melting pot of the multiverse, bringing all the remedy and cure to a lot of their problems, and we're the antidote for all evil. And we're overpowered in an emotional body. We can achieve a new level of the top of the purpose. Anytime client comes to me and they ask, "What's my purpose? Why am I here?" Top of the list, always for everyone. Achieve a new level of love that's only been achieved can only be achieved in human body in this. Even coming close is amazing. Which we're overpowered in love technology, which is connection all things and one of the oldest frequencies in existence. So a lot to it. How about you? What do you think humanity is?
I agree with you almost verbatim, word for word, and I also believe that love conquers everything. And so, if you want to connect to Earth, one thing I do myself is sit back, open yourself up, listen. Don't speak, just listen, and just let everything come to you. You're going to hear downloads. You're going to learn so much by listening. Just like even just going outside and sitting next to a tree and just listening, you're going to hear so much and take in so much and learn. And I think that this has been such an amazing hour and a half having you on here tonight. It's been fantastic. And if you could speak to the whole, want to say the whole world, and give them one message, what would that message be?
That's a good question. Well, one of my big purposes in being here is to empower people to overcome challenges and free the earth, go into the freeing the consciousness, awakening, all that. And a lot of that can be done in them by themselves if they give psionics a try and they learn the science and let that flourish. I'm trying to start a psionic renaissance, which is a mind over matter. Any problem you can solve internally with your mind in a greater ability. There's people that go into a career for a while, like mechanics or computer technicians, and like there's somebody's like, "Oh, there's something wrong with my computer," and as soon as they come over, like, "Let me check out what's wrong with it." There's nothing wrong with it. What's going on? And then the guy's like, "What? Oh, it's working. What?" And they just enter the field, and everything starts working again. The same thing with mechanics. They check on the trunk. There's nothing wrong with it. What? And so it just like shifts it around like a Schrödinger's cat box is alive or dead in the observer effect of the reality. And you can do that. And when you're skilled in certain tech, going along with something that you've honed for a while, it just becomes like an innate energetic thing around you. And there's so many abilities like this. You can like brush your teeth and clear the time crystals of your timeline and get rid of time incursions that are indicated by teeth pain. You can like take a shower and you can clear all the things off you. You can go into clearing your chakras, turn on your energy. You can create your unhappiness. You can go into like yourself and go exploring and find out all these things about you. There's so much to do. And I think people need to discover these parts about themselves, why they are there, who they are, and keep asking questions and follow powerful people like yourself. I can do a plug. I'd like of you to have a plug. Maybe I can upload this later if you're okay with it on mine.
Sure.
Thanks. So I'm Sean Bond. Did you want to end the show now?
No, we don't have to end it now if you don't want. I mean, if you got more time.
It seemed like you were wanting to end the show.
No, huh? So I do want to ask. So you talked about history and all that. Have you ever looked into your past lives to see what your history is?
Oh yeah, I do that all the time. That's one of my things I do for people. I also do vision quests for people where I turn on their third eye to get brighter, and then run them through a vision quest, and it gets brighter and brighter and brighter as they go down. And then memory retrieval, which can be it's like regressions, but less limited, and to where they can go into abductions, military, even ET or secret space program, or retrieve past life things. And they find out who they are, and they get a visceral emotional experience, and it's really fun. I do that with myself all the time, and a lot of things bleed over through the heart or the soul. Habits of who we are, the blocks of what we're going through, emotions just come out of nowhere. Sometimes this life, your DNA, your soul, even weird experiences like the abduction. So you can track all those back and figure out where they're coming from. And so then when I feel into my vision into them, they have all these experiences, and then it unfolds with this big memory and empowerment and integration and soul tears and all that. Yeah, I got a lot of big, powerful ones, and I got interesting ET ones. I got ETs visiting me all the time, like you're saying with the mantids visiting you. I've been visited by them. That I met mostly positive ones. The negative ones are enslaved by the Draco Empire versions of them. They're offshoots. The positive ones, like I've talked to a queen, very powerful, one of the more sonic beings I've came across, like to where it can multitask like crazy. It can talk to millions of beings at once, and like initiate all these commands and influence, and very powerful with it stuff. So yeah, it's just a wonderful adventure. Figure out who you are, who you been, what you'll become, destiny, and so like yeah, you guys go exploring, right? How about you? Have you gone into it too?
Yeah, and I believe in so much because all the ETs I've experienced, they've all been positive. I've never had a bad ET experience. I mean, everything from the mantis beings. I've even seen some of the what they call the blue people, if you ever heard of them, and they're another very safe race. In fact, I'll never forget. This is probably 4 years ago. I went aboard craft, and I woke up aboard craft, and there was one of my family members, like a father figure, standing at the other side of the room, and the room was clearly, it was well lit, no furniture or anything, and there was just a well lit room. And when I looked across and saw him, my memories began to flood back. But I had the most intense, and this is honest to God truth, the most intense love I've ever felt in my life. And I heard a message that said, "Do not worry, love will conquer everything." And I mean, it was just right there. When I get messages, they just pop in. I don't control them. They just come. There are times I can be in a conversation with somebody, and I just automatically get a message of what I'm supposed to say to that person.
Nice. Yeah, it's like that knowingness. It's heart telepathy, and absolutely, love conquers all. Love is connected and infinite. I recommend people go into love science powerfully. Some of our like trips, like my Egyptian tour I ran, I was into unlocking superhuman love, and I went to a bunch of love places of power in Mexico in to some of my tours, and it empowers all psionic abilities. So that's why it's one of the top things for people to work on. It also amplifies your frequency and intensity of consciousness. How much knowing your heart, it amplifies your knowingness field, and how much you can tap into in like these libraries of knowledge and information, truth, and like so much, like time, space, like beyond infinite, the divinity body. All this stuff is centered in the heart. So yeah, man, love is the best. And the things when people want to go into love, sonics, it's you can just put your ring finger in the center of your palm, just or whatever. It doesn't really matter. You can do your fist. Just activate your palm chakra by pressing like a button. You can hold the front back of your heart, or like hug around your heart, or whatever. And you make this focus. Focus tracks chi. So if you hold an intense focus in a place, it amplifies everything to go to that. And then you cultivate intention like love. The big fuels to your source, higher self, soul, spirit, and many of your abilities and generators, which act like a little sun in your body, throughout your body, your chakras, your organs, your cells, your mitochondria, all that, is faith, love, and gratitude. especially faith. It's 90%, 5% unconditional love, 5% gratitude. Faith is an amplifier, like the placebo engine that amplifies things to become true. Same thing with like how like more pharmaceuticals are approved based on being 1% more efficient than the placebo effect. You can believe yourself to cure cancer. Other people have done it. You can amplify this in faith for yourself and your source connection. Then also unconditional love breaks all boundaries, overcomes everything. Gratitude is a fuel to everything. It's like nothing. You ever met anything that if you were like showing super gratitude to, that it didn't like start to like connect and like you? And it's like putting a plate of offering to your ancestors or your spirit guides or anything else. Same thing with this, and it then fuels those systems. These suns in your body, as you make them more powerful, how you do that with faithful and gratitude, it makes the sun burn brighter. There's all these attachment cords that treat us kind of like batteries in this world. And when they don't feel safe, they shut down. So when you get them to burn brighter and burn away with love, all the attachment cords, then it all turns into fuel and makes the sun stronger, and it can support itself. And then the heart expands. And so the things, every ability has usually an anti-ability or a harvesting system or a block type of energy to it. So those heavinesses will come down our heart and hold back the love. The love, you can see like a sun that either expands and glows brighter and bigger, or shrinks down to barely anything. It never truly goes out. It may be down to the size of an atom, but you give it focus and you start upwelling it and getting it stronger, embracing all the things that are holding it back, limiting it from it, stealing from it, having gratitude. Oh, thank you for being my firewood. And then it builds that up. It makes it stronger. And then you can overcome anything with that. And it learns. It's like your source connection, your higher self, your super consciousness is in the center of the heart with the neurons of the brain of the heart.
Right. And so I'll never forget, this is a good story. I do want to mention this because you've had ET experiences and so have I. And years ago, it's been maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I got real sick one day, and very sick, and I couldn't even heal myself. And usually when I get ill, I'll have like a healing that comes overnight. I'll wake up and everything's perfectly fine. But I felt so down and out one night, bad cold, couldn't hardly move. I started questioning life, and I've asked, and I even made a prayer or a statement to my ET family: if you could hear me, please heal me and help me, because I feel terrible. And I never got a response from them. So I started questioning, is helping all these people every day that I'm doing, because every day I help people, and I'm always in the right place at the right time, doing all this work. I started questioning if all this was even the right way, the right life path. And lo and behold, I woke up the next morning and felt perfectly fine. But then I started wondering, well, why didn't they heal me the night before when I asked? What took so long? Later that day, I was in a grocery store where I work, and this person came through. And as soon as I locked eyes on her, she was dressed all in black, had long hair. As soon as I set eyes on her, I knew that she was going to say something to me. I knew she was there for a reason. And she walked up to me and she goes, "We just came to tell you that you're doing a good job." And she said that, an enormous amount of love came over me, and I almost felt the urge to cry. And I turned around, or no, she started to walk away. She stopped. She turned around and she said, and I quote, "Now you will get rewarded. You will get rewarded for all this." And then she just vanished. So I asked some of the other people there, I said, or the cashier, I said, "You see that woman dressed in black?" He said, "What woman?" I said, "That woman that was just here in black." He looked at me like I was stupid. I said, "No, that woman that was in black had long hair." "I don't know what you're talking about." He didn't see her. I was the only one that saw her. But I got the message from her. That was them giving me confirmation that you're doing the right thing in life, that keep on this career path. And I loved it. It was one of the most profound and memorable moments I've had with my ET family in quite a while.
Beautiful. Oh, wow. That's an amazing visitation. Congratulations on having that. It's a great teaching for people. It's like the reality just stops and things just show up like a magical miracle, and it just I don't know. It's like, time stops and the Matrix just has like a breakthrough that like some being visits you. That's awesome. I love that.
We had a great comment in the chat room. He says, heck yeah, I've been looking for a channel like this. Reminds me of Coast to Coast. Thank you so much, and hope you like and subscribe. And so what? Let me see. There we go. So, what was your first encounter with ETs? If you can remember back that far, do you remember what your first encounter was?
There's a bunch that I can't quite remember and super fuzzy, but I have like little recollections of them as a younger kid. Around age 5 is when I started getting visited by this extra dimensional witch that started teaching me magic, and it had like this cabin little thing in the woods that like, and it had a whole town that like connected to where I lived, and I can't find it anywhere. It doesn't exist, but I keep having dreams about it, and I've had dreams about it recently too, and it's like, oh my God. And sometimes I was there for like days and weeks and stuff. There's like all these stores that just have anything you want. It's really cool. One that was really powerful that stuck out a lot. I got visited by this Merthyr Gray type race, and I can. There's images of it. People can look up. I'll maybe be able to find them later. I'll look through my files, but it's okay. So what I had a lot of interesting visitations, but yeah, I'll just go into this story. So first Merthyr that I remember is I woke up when I was living with super soldiers. I woke up in this hospital bed. I don't know, a weird place. It didn't look like it was weird technology around. And there did 5 different ET races, different types around me. I was waking up all groggy, and they got really surprised that I woke up. And then they quickly put all this emotional like telepathy on me, like, oh, it's okay, we know you, we're friends, we're past lives. This female Merthyr started calming me and then kind of lulling me to sleep, and then I slowly passed out, and I woke up. I was still talking to her. I was a little suspicious because I questioned, why can't I remember? Why are you putting me asleep? And it appears with what she told me, like that we're friends and allies, and there's all these past lives and stuff, but that we're dramatic as hell. We're very overwhelmed with all this spiritual stuff, drama going on. There's this big matrix, spiritual big brother system spying everyone and scanning their minds, and it attacks anything that tries to visit us. And they got attacked afterwards, unfortunately. And they're trying to avoid that. Also, a lot of the ETs that visit people, they come and incarnate from other worlds here or in inner Earth or something, and they got a mission here. And when they come in as humanity, it takes a lot of bravery because it's a meat grinder. It sucks ass, and a lot of overwhelming depression. People want to kill themselves, So it takes bravery to be here. So a lot of really powerful beings are incarnating as humans and go through an amnesia process. And there's like a thing to why that's allowed in like bring all species that are warring against each other to peace. And then, but there's an abuse with it, of course, by controlling us and keeping us like batteries. It's there's a thing that makes us forget those other realities as soon as we come back here. And also they don't particularly want us to, they allow us to forget the positive races. The negative races just make us forget, and that's also the military abduction. But the positive, most of the time, they don't even need us to forget. But sometimes when they allow it, they're just okay with it based on them doing missions with us when they take us in temporal dilation to do a bunch of things. And they don't want the mission to be retrieved and understanding by this predator scanning our minds. So that predator system on the planet tries to out chess move whatever we're doing with our soul family here in a mission. But again, we should challenge all this. There's this great forgetting field around the planet that happened at the fall of Atlantis that isn't natural. There's other planets that you don't forget your other lives. There are like the mantid races, when they die and they reincarnate, just their spirit goes into another egg, and they remember their life going from life to life, and they keep picking up and getting more smart and stuff. So there's a weird system here that we need to resolve. And so next I had this, it's like a dream visitation of a place I was used to live, where we were watching the sky with a bunch of friends, and there's shooting stars and stuff, and then a plane is going by. I'm like, hey, sometimes ships will cloak and just pretend to be planes and stuff, because I've seen weird planes that just freeze in midair and then they start moving again at a few seconds, and it's like, what the heck? And then some that shift and to like a ship. I've seen some weird stuff, but so when I explained that, the ship started the plane started getting lower and lower and lower, and then slowing down, and then we started all getting into anxiety. Like I could feel it like heavily, and I was like, what's going on? And then it uncloaked into a real ship and then went above us, and then landed behind my house, and then a little gray Merther popped out and it handed me a pamphlet on its species, and it kind of like downloaded into my mind a bunch of the things going on. It was just trying to get me to remember. It was like a little attempt to like, hey, we're here, we're soul family, you've been in a race before, and I'm like, mind about you, trying to bypass the matrix thing. And it was willing to do that, which was cool, and even though it got attacked afterwards. Then another one, a friend, a Merther, picked me up in their ship. And I was not there for like hours. It was awesome. It had been days, honestly. And the cool thing about him, he loved our species. He collected all this memorabilia about our culture, like these shows, these posters, bobbleheads, action figures, like movies and stuff. And I said, like, what do I call you? And he's like, I like Brian from Family Guy. You can call me Brian. And then also he had this cool portal door. It was like a doorway he opened. Like I was like, hey, I'm getting thirsty. Can I have something to drink? And he's like, oh yeah. And then he opened this portal, and it like connected to this beach where there was this little bar thing that had like a few drinks laying around, and he reached and grabbed that, and he got that for me. I was like, wow. And he shifted it to a more secluded beach, and then let me pop in and out of it a little bit. And he didn't follow though. I was like, hey, why don't you come to this beach with me? I'm like, I don't like going there, it hurts. And I'm like, interesting. So that just like confirms how dramatic our world is. And we're just born into it like fish in water.
That is amazing. And so, just curiosity, what did the drink taste like? Was it pretty good, or?
So the drinks, yeah, they're like fruity, kind of like pineapple and some other fruits combined together. It was nice. It was from Earth. It was a regular like beach bar of some type. So I don't think he would have. He might have took me to another place, but I don't think he would. It's like, hey, drink this strange drink. I don't know if I would have just done that. So yeah, go ahead.
So when you go with them, at some point you come back. Do you come back almost like to a point in time that it appears you never even left time-wise, or are you actually gone physically for a couple hours?
Yeah, temporal dilation seems to be the mode of visiting people most of all, which is like regular timeline. You being taken for a certain amount of time, do a bunch of things, then put back in as if you never left. And if you've been gone long enough, they'll like do some like scanning of your hologram right before you're taken and revert you back to that. So that ET tech abductions, the military abduction, and especially the future military has been able to get from ET reverse engineering tech to abduct people and then put them in as if they never left with an altar and forgetting. And then it's like free labor. It's you don't, and there's a rule with interfering with the timeline. And as long as they get you back, there's no interference. Just a bunch of PTSD trauma if they did negative shit to you and mind controlled you, unfortunately. But they apparently get away with that, unfortunately.
Yeah, for me, it's always been like simultaneously, where I would go and come back almost at the same time that I left. But there's been times when I came back, I knew I was gone for a couple of weeks, if not longer. And of course, I've had my share of missing time experiences. In fact, there was one time last year I was on the phone talking to my best friend Rachel, and she was laughing at the fact that I mistyped something wrong. And I said to her, I said, well, go ahead and get it out of your system. Go ahead and just laugh it off. When I said the word laugh it off, within just 1 second after that, it was now 9:30 a.m. the next day. And I looked around. Well, I got up first thinking I might as well get up and have coffee or whatever. I looked around and my clothes, everything had been disarranged, nothing where I normally kept them. And then moments later, or maybe a half hour later, I started getting visions of being aboard craft, and some of the other people, another friend of mine, I won't say her name, but she had a similar experience. I was aboard craft. There was 8 beings surrounding me. Like I'm in the center. There's 8 of them surrounding me, and I was getting the feeling like they were sending me or preparing me for my next mission, my next level of whatever you call this, helping and healing people. And when I got that vision, that's when I started getting the feelings that okay, now I'm starting to make sense now. And have you ever had missing time yourself? I know you have, but like, were you ever like puzzled by it, or do you have conscious memory of most of that stuff?
Yeah, it's strange. So I've experienced that. I have friends who experienced it. I've had people tell me they witnessed me go into the woods, turn around and wink at them, and then go through a portal. And then I don't remember any of that, but and then some of it I do remember, and like I've visited other timelines, other realities, dimensions, realms before, and then it came back with as if I never left. Sometimes it was willing to give me the understanding of missing time. Sometimes I'm driving and I skip past where my destination is. I'm like, what the fuck? How did we get here? And then also like get there way sooner, and also with that, it depends on what they're trying to do, because if they're okay with you knowing about it. Sometimes I've met certain people that have switched out with an altar of some type, and they're experiencing somewhere else, and their altar is experiencing timeline. And like with what you're saying, either you just disappear, like your friend's saying in the comments, or like you could be displaying something and doing something for a certain amount of time that you don't remember at all while you're off doing something else, and then put back, or you don't remember any of it and you just have missing time, and it's like, what? Why am I? And then I can go into either ET visitation, or you being switched out in an altar. And there's like things with the military, they do that with the super soldiers.
I got to ask you, when you first started having missing time, when you first started noticing it, did it scare the hell out of you?
It did. I was very freaked out about it. It was a lot of anxiety, PTSD, and it felt like I needed to know stuff. Like I'll come back with like big scratches on my arm, and like sometimes injection marks or triangles of dug out in my lip or ear or something like that. And sometimes my birthmarks will be switched. I even have like this I have this big like unicorn horn of hair that comes out of the center of my third eye. Sometimes it's not there, and like when I read into it, it's like I'm in a different clone body of myself while my other body heals or something, and it's like that's hard to believe. But then like I'm looking at it, it's like it's gone, it's not there, and I wait like maybe it just got shaved off or something. And I wait days for it doesn't grow back. If I resolve the original body and then have it switch out, it comes back, and it's like, oh geez, nobody's gonna believe this. I've also had like woke up with sand in my hair, and I was in Boston, like we're like 2 hours from the ocean. I haven't even been to the ocean in like a year. I don't really need to. Like I was born in the ocean, so I don't need to go there that much. And I had sand, and I was like, what the heck? And I'm just like dusting it off. And I'm like, oh shit, what the hell is this? And then I start collecting it. I have like I think I have a picture of it here. I can bring up for you. 1 second. Yeah, I got this. So here's some of it for him, but and when I scanned into the sand, it was definitely different than I thought it was and what it meant. And that's just some of it, because a lot of it I just brushed off, not thinking like to collect it. And I was like, oh shit, I should collect this as evidence. So when I read it, scanned into it, it was like I went into this whole memory where because I felt really good when I woke up that day. I was exhausted before the other days. I was just like taking on so many things, but then I was so like relaxed and stuff. And I read that this came from a ship, and it was weird. I was like, where did I go? Did I go to a beach or something? And it just like I psychic tracked it, and it went to a ship, and it went to a simulation room, some type of holographic chamber that could simulate in physical hard light technology a beach. And it essentially simulated a world that I felt a lot of homeness to, and it was like a beach of some type of home world that I love a lot. And I relaxed there for a while, apparently. And I came back really healed and stuff. So that was that. But yeah, there's weird stuff. Oh, another time. I have glasses too. And, when I was a kid, teenager, I got visited a few times, and I had one pair of glasses, and I just kind of threw them around. I didn't really care much about them. They got all really scratched up all over everything. And one day I woke up and I put my glasses on, and they had no scratches on them whatsoever. It was the same glasses. I was, what? How? It's like reminded me of like that Harry Potter Oculus Reparo thing. And then I tracked that back, and it was like some race just restored them for me, and as like a gift. I was like, oh, that's fucking nice of them. That's really nice. So this is all these kind of experiences I'm thinking of for missing time. It sometimes there's like a whole jump in hours of the day. I don't remember a lot as a kid, though. I'm still retrieving things. Some go to these big fear mode of abductions around time that I saw UFOs in the sky. One time I saw a big UFO that's like a glowing orb of light that was being followed by a helicopter, and it was just looking right at it. And then the UFO was darting around my neighborhood, and it was the helicopter just followed it. And I was like, holy fuck, is this real? And then a lot of that time, it's hard for me to fully remember everything. And there's like missing time and a large amount of amnesia barrier and fear around it, things like that. And big abductions coming over my head, like feelings of lifting off, like, like those, I don't know, what are the retractor beams that somehow even have you phase through the walls. Yeah, I'm thinking about it now. It's like, yeah, it's bringing things back. How about you? Any
Now,
more,
for me, being aboard craft, the one thing that I remembered because I had some regression done, but one thing that I've always recalled, because I heal and help people, and there was a room we have on the ship called the healing room. That's what I call it, and I'm pretty sure that's what name they use. And in this healing room, we have a grid, and the grid is like a real like really bright lit blue grid, and we can lay a person on this grid, and then on the my family or my father that I'm in the room with, he takes his hands on this like a big screen. He just touches the screen. He can program that grid to heal the person based on their needs, and then the grid will heal them, almost like that, and then we can bring it back here to Earth fully healed. And I have very very vivid memories of that.
Wow, cool. Yeah, that sounds like advanced technology. Wow. Does that inspire you to like possibly figure out how that works? Maybe
I've
upcoming tech with AI, you can figure out how to piece that together.
It's funny because when I'm on ship, I tried to ask questions before. What's this and why this? And I always get in my mind. I always hear the words, "Don't worry about it. Just do your job. Don't worry about it. You don't need to know this right now." And I hear that like repeatedly. And I've often wondered why they don't give me all the answers. And the conclusion I've came to is, if I had all the answers, would I be more interested in telling everybody what I know or doing my job? And that might ruin the plan, not accomplishing my job here.
It's a good point, because a lot of things want us to stay on task. And I think if people read what those tasks are and they keep them strong in their reality and keep building them in their life, well, gaining a little perspective on certain those other things, they might be more allowing for you to understand more of that concept. Though, yeah, they'll use that concept of it's a distraction quite a bit.
And
I felt that.
see if you can relate to this. It seems like for me, every good deed I do here, I get a reward that comes like later on that day from having done that good deed. Like something positive happens afterwards. So it's almost like saying thank you.
Oh yeah. This universe and Earth is oriented towards rewarding moral code goodness and towards unity consciousness, as if everyone's one being, and then like what would you like to expand into the whole collective. So rewards coming now, as well as I have experienced heaven realm. So after death, the astral, you can go many places. You can earn. There are certain places you got to earn your way in, and there's all these VIP clubs, and esoteric Christianity even goes into at least 77 heaven realms. I read there's way more. It's a lot of VIP clubs to creators of certain realms, and Earth has like billions of realms besides the Tree of Yggdrasil in Norse mythology of the 9 primary incarnate realms. Then there's also the quarantine, prison, and hell realms. I've also experienced that. It's awful. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. But if they're not taken over by dark predators to take them away from the original purpose, they're meant to put invaders there and then get them under a moral code system and lesson learning and bring them out into a graduation sense. So this realm is more oriented towards lessons and growth in transcending suffering and ascending and making it stronger, your capability to do anything to a high degree despite all the blocks and limits and weights on us. Yeah, and if you're aligned with the universe, more at peace with things, light, neutral, and getting even the dark to not want to go against you, which people can do by transcending evil, then it feels like the whole thing flows with you and wants you to do well, and it comes alive. and rewards you all the time, and you can. And there's like there's an ability with it, right? In flow that you make it even better and better.
I agree, and I think that the more people we help, I think the more in return we're going to get, because it seems like every time I reach out and lend a hand, I get something back, and reminds me of what happened. Just I say happened, but it's about 3 weeks ago. It was right before Christmas, and maybe just a few days beforehand. I was working at the store. I'm still there a few days a week, and I've been helping people all day long and telling them, "Hey, Merry Christmas," all this, and this. I saw this woman walking very slow. So she's looked like she was in her maybe her 80s. I put my arm out like this. I said, "Need some help?" She goes, "Why, sure." And then she starts talking, and everything she said kind of sounded peculiar, but pleasant. And she made a comment about how she's so grateful that there's people like me that help people like her, and and she had this look on her face, and it wasn't normal, but it wasn't unnormal. I was reading something from her, and that's when it occurred to me. I think she might be one of my family members that came in kind of like in a disguise or something, not showing their true form, which they've done that before. So as she was talking right before she left, I said, "Do you believe in spirit guides and ETs and stuff?" And this big smile came across her face. She goes, "Why, yes, of course." And I turned around. Yep, I know who she is. And when I turned back around, she was gone. I kind of did this. I wanted to say, "Have a good day." Couldn't find her, but she was there
That's
for that moment.
Mhm. Yeah, that's lovely. I believe in that too. I've met a bunch of people that have that. Um, yeah, I think the reality will keep you on the path and encourage you, and especially when you need support. All these soul family come in. It's beautiful. I love how when they attract more into your life too. And but yeah, these strange people that even like homeless people will feel like they're put on your path for a reason, and they have weird things going on. Even some that are like time travelers kind of thing. Like they might know you a little bit deeper than a random people should.
And I do believe time travel is possible because when you're up there on a craft, there is no time. Everything is just now, and so in reality, everything we're living in right now is all one. And I've been told by my family that we are all one cohesive unit. That this is all our togetherness thing. Not everybody here on Earth gets along, but we are one together.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, you said before the chat you went into time travel a little bit more with rote viewing, so I'd love to hear more of your experiences on that. I've also gone into it. I go through the time mystery school with remote viewing. I've gone into experiencing time, sending healings backward in time, forward in time, expanding to my past lives, releasing traumas, preventing things negatively happening, stopping timeline incursions, getting a lot of like big pain and attack and illness that's trying to kill people. I've been able to stop by seeing their timeline and see when it's getting attacked, and then prevent that, and then it goes away and all the pain goes away. It's nice. Um, and then be able to find little threads that shouldn't exist in the timeline, that's like spiritual negative stuff that is holding people back and things that make the timeline worse, and then find where its core is back in time and resolve that, and then it all releases. All these negative timelines collapse and the positive merges back with the regular timeline, empowering it for the better. Because the parasites don't earn abilities, they steal them. So that they're stealing all these ways to affect the timeline. I've been doing this like timeline maintenance stuff for everything, including myself and clients. How about you?
Yes, and so have you ever took a remote viewing course yourself, or are you just gifted naturally? Because for me, it's both
Uh,
ways.
a few, but I've mostly been self-taught into it in amplifying the vision, going into vision quests, and then a lot of like these little psychic astral eyes turning on, and then me being able to have them float around different places and see locations out of my room, and also my astral body, out of body experiences. And I took courses on like controlled remote viewing and certain ones from the Farsight Institute, and some other friends have some things into that. But I think there's a lot more methods. So I'm especially into turning on the third eye to get brighter, and then seeing into different scenarios and places, and I use it with psychic tracking often. How about you?
Yeah, I teach remote viewing. Me and my best friend Rachel, we teach it every week, and we're getting ready to start another round of the beginner's course, which you're welcome to take any course that you want for free from us.
Yeah, let's trade. I'll give you one of my courses for free, and I'll love to take yours.
I teach remote viewing 101. I call it link remote viewing. The reason why I call it link remote viewing is because the way I teach it, everything comes together at the end. You're linking all this information into one answer to a puzzle. It's great. I've taught well over, it's in the thousands now almost. Classes. I teach remote healing. I also teach remote influencing, which is the ability to change a person's mind for the better, and even use that to control the weather. Like I demonstrated in class once, how to make it rain, how to make it stop. But you got to be very careful when you're doing stuff like that, because you don't want to make it rain too hard or make it overpowering, because I made a mistake in demonstrating to the class how I can make a thunderstorm on contact and how to make it stop. But I wasn't careful with my words, and we started having lightning and thunder. And the brick house I was living in a brick house at the time with my parents. And the brick house, the house itself literally shook from the thunder. So I overpowered the influencing. But good demonstration for the class, how to teach them to be careful with what they wish for. You don't want to overdo it. I also teach a course on advanced remote viewing, which is how to do it all up here in your mind quickly, just by using certain words and certain phrases to make things happen. And that's a great course. And I teach 2 extra courses for fun that people can take at any time. It's a remote time travel, how to travel through time and see things and find things. And you even go back and look at yourself in the past. And it's wonderful. In fact, I use that course to go to concerts and things. Now, I'll never forget this. I went to a 1991 concert in Europe. I forgot the name of it now, but Phil Collins, Eric Clapton, everybody, Eddie Rabbitt, Elton John, everybody was there. Great big outdoor concert. I kid you not. I went to the concert and witnessed it. I was standing in the back. It was a huge show, so I was standing in the back and enjoying the show. And I couldn't really see too much because I was too far in the back, and I didn't want to go up front, because when you time travel, you want to be careful not to make any changes. You don't want to change things too much, because it can be damaging to yourself or to the people around you. So I was in the back, but I had such a good time at the show, I thought, I'm going to go again and go up front. The second time I went to the concert, it was raining, and people had umbrellas. It did not rain the first time. Lo and behold, there's a DVD on Amazon of that show. And so I got to buy this DVD and watch it. On the DVD, clear enough, you see it rain. But when I first went to the show, it did not rain.
Ooh, Mandela effect changed the timeline. That's lovely. That's cool that you're getting that evidence with it. Yeah, it's definitely trade. I got a lot of abilities I'll give you. We can. I'd love to experience your courses. You seem very powerful. You seem to have the power of a star, like you've been a star before, and I think that star still exists. And also, like I can tell you also got stuff with the Founders of Magic thing. So yeah, thank you for teaching all that and expanding your wisdom.
Oh, great.
Thank you. Past Sonic, so thank you so much.
Thank you, because I can feel all the love and energy coming from you too as well. You're also very gifted. Even my best friend Rachel is gifted, and when we first met, she was showing off her abilities. And I gave her some tests. We were testing each other one night after we met. She'd ask me psychic questions like, "What am I looking at?" or "What am I thinking of?" And I'd give her an answer, and I'd do the same to her. I thought I'm gonna really trip her. So I went into a room, and there's a clock hanging on the wall from Arizona with a deer on it. It's a deer clock. So I asked her. I said, thinking that she wouldn't get this correctly. I said, all right. I said, what am I looking at? She goes, like a clock with a deer on it. I thought, holy shit. I thought, well, I can't let her go now. She's too good. I can't. Somebody with that kind of gifts, I got to keep a hold of. But she proved how great she was. And the final course I teach is optional course. It's a remote mind expansion. And in this course, mind expansion, I teach everybody how to multitask in their mind. Because in day-to-day life, there's so much going on. Sometimes you miss information because you're too busy focused on one area. I teach everybody how to, let's say, listen to everything you're saying at the same time, hear what's going on over here, hear what's going on over here, and how to decipher all that all at once and not be so jumbled. Because if you are gifted, it can be a juggle trying to comprehend everything. I know a lot of psychics that they hear so much going on they can't control it, and I teach everybody how to make everything smooth and easy. And my courses are very smooth and easy. I teach step by step. When I teach my classes, everything is so. I have the ability to look at people, and just by looking at them, I know a little bit about them. I know their how they need to learn things. So I might have a person in class that maybe is a little bit slower. I could sense that. So I will base my lessons on their needs as well as everybody else's needs. So I might go over everything once for everybody to hear, but then I might repeat it slightly differently so that she can understand it better in her own way. And what's great about being able to teach everybody on their level, I've never had a student that couldn't become a remote viewer and get certified. I've never had a student that couldn't fail. In fact, I had one student in class. The target was a restaurant, a 50s diner. But the diner is based out of a Quonset hut. It's like an old-fashioned restaurant. She remote viewed that perfectly. So perfectly that she was just in shock, almost in tears a little bit. She did so well. And my assistant gives out a lot of the targets. I do the lessons, and she gives out the targets. And her targets are fantastic. She enjoys it, and the class has fun.
Oh, wonderful! I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting. I think we're going to be good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go into like some of the things I teach. Besides vision questing, unlocking dormant abilities, going into like remembering, memory retrieval, and like SSP stuff like people like to go into or have me do. There's like piecing together ability, how it works, these generators to activate their dormant people so their ability flourishes automatically. Their abundance, unlock, getting rid of the blocks on them so that things coming through life with great unfoldment. Telepathy, we can go into that in a really nice course that amplifies you to where you can translate any message, and all the messages you've ever gotten are still in your heart in like this telepathic text message box. There's a lot of things with defense, astral combat, getting rid of things that stole stuff, power retrieval, soul shard retrieval, exorcism, depossession from a distance. Yeah, we can do all the things into like amplifying fortress, automatic defenses, amplifying love, turning on the positive emotions so they're always there, and figure out what negative emotions come at us to limit us to the things to transcend. All the past life retrieval and automatic gaining, the amplifying of knowingness to tune into information automatically whenever you need it. We'll trade a lot of things. It'll be fun.
Great. And one thing I do want to ask, and this has always been kind of a puzzle to me, I've never asked anybody this before, but have you ever, I know with all the experiences you've had and everything, have you ever sent, has a part of you or something inside you ever sent a text message or a message that you didn't actually type yourself, or like something overpowered you and sent that message?
In a way, my phone freaks out and plays weird, timely music that has a message and freezes images and a different symbol. Has screenshotted a whole different time period that is weird, and date, and it's like it will glitch out and change the voice, and it's trying to get my attention. Um, Text messages I didn't send. I'm sure something like that's happened. I'd have to think about that for a bit. Do you have a story you want to tell me?
I've had that happen to me several times. And one of the first times it happened, it was very strange. All of a sudden, I looked at my phone when I came back to wherever I'd been, or even if I went somewhere, I don't recall going anywhere. But but I remember looking at my phone, and there was a message that I supposedly typed that said something along the lines of "slow it down" or "be careful, Jesse Marcel." And Jesse Marcel was, of course, he was involved in UFOs and different things. If you remember his name from the Roswell, he was the one that had the Roswell crash debris piece that could bend and go back in place.
Interesting. Oh, what do you think that did? Do you think that changed his timeline and made it better or something? Maybe
I'm not for
maybe
sure.
saved his life. You wouldn't be able to know.
I'm not for sure, but there's been numerous times when I've been like gone somewhere, but when I come back, there'll be a message sent that I didn't type or just weird things. I've just seen if you ever had that before, but it could all be for a reason of some sort. Maybe I'll learn it later on down the line.
I've had Mandela effects where people say that I said things or I did things with them or they saw me places or it's like even like where I watched whole movies with them and I'm like, I've never watched that movie. And it's like, and I still watch through it. I'm like, I haven't watched this at all. And it's
I will say
like
this
whole other timeline versions of me or something people experience.
Now, I will say this real quick that of course I'm not real good at typing on a cell phone. I always hit the wrong letters or numbers. But when I send stuff I didn't mean to send, the words would come out perfectly. So congratulations on that part, I guess.
I do get a lot of shitty spell checks that kind of like are joking and sometimes like say something profound or change the topic, and then they sometimes will change my timeline. Interestingly, there's like a little bit that go negative, some go positive. So yeah, I may have had. It sounds familiar what you're talking about, though. I think I had most of those when I didn't really think of it as like a supernatural thing. So I can't really think of that, but it does sound familiar, as if maybe I did. But that's cool that you're categorizing all of them. That should make it probably will change others' timelines. Are they all positive, would you say? Or is there like other agendas to them, do you think?
Everything I've ever experienced seems to have always been positive. I've never had a negative experience. Even with my being taken aboard craft, nothing has ever been negative. It's all been positive. The only thing I've ever had negative was years ago. I had something that connected with me that was negative, and I was able to wait it out and not fight it, and eventually it left. And that was ages ago. But that's the only time I've ever had anything negative. Most of everything's been positive and all loving. And my best friend Rachel is chatting with me. She said that she can feel a connection with the skull when you were showing the pictures of the skull. She kind of connected with it a little bit.
Oh, I'm glad that you got to connect to it. Yeah, they'll reach out, they'll contact you. I'm getting buzzing in my ears right now as we're talking. That seems to be something to do with your soul family. Okay, I'll look into that. And somebody asked me if I meditate. Yeah, I do. I love meditating all the time, every day. I like amplify it. It gets easier for everyone out there. If you want to get into meditating and you're like, I just can't, or you need to form a habit, first start with making it so the meditation charges you up like energy, like you're plugging in a cell phone, and gives you bliss, love, happiness, and joy. If you can generate those, then you'll get addicted to it. And I found ways to do that in like holding certain organs and the chakras like the sacral. I bliss on cloud nine every day in the morning, and I also go into vision questing at night and whenever I can, and I get all kinds of cool data into exploring things and things that want to contact me. And I got a large backed up list of things that want to contact me. So I'm like, sometimes every once in a while I go through that and like a little bit each day and go through what's contacting me. But I got so much trying to contact me.
Now, do you write your own meditations out sometimes? Do you ever make up your own? I do that
I
too.
have
'Cause
tons.
I'm
I have
also
like hundreds of journals worth of abilities and meditations and things to amplify and take back power over your body to program it to become your greatest self. Somebody asked, like, I can't seem to shut my mind off. I have found the cure to that. So hit me up if you want to gain that ability. A lot of it, just to like break it down, is attachment and the monkey mind, and bringing it to the mind of silence is through finding out where that attachment is and then clearing it. And then it comes to silence and peace, and you generate tons of bliss. All this chi comes out of your heart, and you can know greater amounts of things just to answer any question that comes to your mind. It's like a bunch of knowingness, and it's so lovely. It's like touching upon closer to source or something.
Because I work in certain areas of MUFON where we in the UFO organization where I work with people one on one that are having ongoing contact with ETs, and they don't understand how to cope with it or how to handle it because they have the missing time, the fear effect, and so I do meditation for those. I will write them out a specific meditation based on their type of contact they're having, and this meditation will help ease the contact when it happens, but it also puts their mind at ease. In some cases, when I do the meditation, when I write it out for them or record it for them, they're so peaceful they don't even remember having contact. It's almost as if contact ceases. It doesn't really cease, but in their minds, they're off in this pleasant place I put them in with the meditation, that they don't have the fear no more. I more or less delete the fear from them, and they love the meditation because I base it specifically for them, and even use the right kind of voice and words to help them relax more and not be in such fear.
Yeah, that's a good method, because fear, like a lot of ETs that contact me, like when I wake in the morning and after it, I'm like, I can still my telepathy with them is still strong, and I still go back and forth with them. Very propelling in the mind. I've experienced multiple types. I asked them, what can I do to get more contact with you more often? And they bring up a lot of times the fear within us, and it appears there's more fear than we know about. Like a lot of people like yourself have gone through a lot of fear and released a lot of it. There appears to be secret data, compartmentalized packets of compressed fear energy out in the kidneys that are implanted there from negative abduction and other attachment things in this reality that try to block us from having more experiences. And it's like a defense system from expanding the ego to perceiving more reality and experiencing higher sentience beings, where it would flare up, and it might even hurt the beings. So and hurt us, and so we got to go deeper, especially in Vision Quest, to release this fear and find out any little grain that's left, as well as there's anxiety and overwhelm and stress and things that would go into like survival mode or an overloading, because you can overwhelm an ET and kill it with your emotions, unfortunately.
Right.
So yeah.
When
your friends ask, sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry to say, it's one thing I've learned is that I've had more conscience recall in my times aboard craft now. One of the reasons I believe that I've had more recall is because of the fact that I've learned to trained myself to be more calm, more one with the world, and more in tune, and just have a complete sense of relaxation. And I think that's what's also welcomed in more visitation. be more accepted.
That's a good point. Yeah, they want to look. Certain positive races want people to be in a right, pure heart state mind, where there's no like violent intention or it's like a state of purity and openness to contact. There's like contact protocol people have made a science towards, and there's all these like things they're looking for in high state of vibrational consciousness to where it's like the matrix free. You transcend the matrix and things more start contacting you, get interdimensional. When I first started doing contact protocols, I got visited by extra dimensional beings and fairies and stuff in my dreams, and it's like, oh, yeah, this is that wasn't what I was expecting, but cool. And then it like opened up to all these things in the unseen that we don't know about, hidden in that can transcend through dimensions and like interdimensionals and stuff.
Oh yeah, and do you have conscience? Do you ever recall of being on craft yourself?
Oh yeah, tons. Some of my favorite moments I remember is where they let me drive them. It's like it has its own intelligence, its own soul. It reacts to you mentally, and it's like an extension of yourself. And you can like speed up and like hyperdrive and like cloak the ship and go above the skyline of places and barrel roll and all this kind of stuff. And
They haven't let me
some
drive
of it
yet.
has such love too. Go ahead.
They have not let me fly the plane yet. So you got one up on me on that one. I haven't been able to fly it yet. I'd love to.
You'll probably get one soon then. But yeah, definitely have those. Those are I love that one. I've had a bunch of those too. Sometimes I've had a dream where I infiltrated a. It was really crazy. So here's the dream. So whatever it means, you can think of it. You can tell me what you think it is. But I was dressed up as like a civilian in a wheelchair, and I entered at like a top military base, and I pretended to have like a little accident, but I was really trained well with the wheelchair, and I trained it so that the wheelchair went downstairs really quickly, but like where I had like it up on one wheel and it didn't like fuck with me at all going down the stairs, and I was able to turn all the way down the stairs and go to the next station really quickly while people were freaking, hey, you're not supposed to go down there. And I just went all the way down, and I quickly passed all these hallways and into this room that opened up, and it went to this big ship. And I got on the ship, and it was like an AI intelligence of it that instantly interacted with me and started talking with me. And I was like, okay, let's get out of here. And I synced it up, and then we phased through I got it up and running, and we phased out of the facility, and it got up and running and into space, and that was awesome. And then I started flying it out of there. So that was. And then another time, it was like I was seeing. I wasn't driving the ship, but I could see the Earth from a distance. That was really cool. And I remember getting abducted, and certain people were getting killed. I got really angry, and for some reason my sonics activated and telekinesis, and I started killing all the negative ETs on board that were like killing some other humans. So I got really angry on that one. And then there's this scenario where there's these dark ETs coming in, and I was like, no, you're not allowed to be here. And it's like another altar of myself turns on or something. And then I grab the ship with telekinesis and I slam it to the ground. But and then later wake up or something. So there's this weird scenarios where I'll have both positive and negative experience, and I teach people how to get rid of the negative abductions. And the reason the negative come if you're targeted is rare abilities, and if you don't have enough camouflage, because people like yourself make a lot of camouflage, and you also have this cool peace ability coming off you. So good job for doing that and bringing everything to unity more and more.
Thank you very much. Yeah, there's a lot of peace coming off of you too, and I think that we're here for a reason. We're not here just to just to live a normal life per se. We're here to help other people and help raise awareness and spread love. And I think our ET families would love it if everybody could have that ability. I think everybody's capable of spreading love and helping other people, but they're just too caught up in their day to day lives. They don't have the relaxation to become one with or the land or the world.
Mm. Yeah, it's yeah, we can like we're a big empathy trap, so we can bring all the negative species into like turning on their love and their empathy as they entangle with us, and we have all these positive races backing us. So there's a lot to look forward to in the future of what will come about with as our species awakens into this greater reality of who we are and what we're here to do. And your friend asked me, "Is it normal for the long skull to memory wipe you?" And I put it up on the images if you wanted to bring it up again. To mind wipe you, it's not really normal. Depends on what you mean by mind wipe. It might have some of the species might be interested you in a quickly temporal dilated visit to it. That tends to happen. That Chris, it's in the little share screen. Um, if you mean that it could be you were visited in temporal dilation, though this crystal skull is a skull of truth. My black one is superpowers. So this one will
Of mass.
contact
Yeah, the
you and
center of the
interact
body.
with you in
Like
interesting
if you
ways.
see
And
this thing is on the
so
side,
go ahead and message it and reach out to it.
could
It's,
make actually its
it can
body.
tell you crazy stuff about yourself and your destiny and who, what you're meant to do and
Yeah.
how to overcome some big
Yeah.
challenges in your life to
Yeah,
go
exactly.
closer to your destiny.
Yeah,
But
that's
there's
what I
many other things. So feel free to contact it.
uh,
This long skull race is also
very good.
there.
This is your
So
guy. Yeah, this is your guy.
they might have visited you. Some other things might have visited you. So lucky you to interact with it. But yeah, feel free to tune into whatever you think it is and let us know in the
But I
comments.
would love some water.
Because it seems to be been very nice to me, but I'm sure it could kick some people's ass. But it seems to be nice. Maybe there's like a attempt to even bring in knowledge to you, but then the matrix doesn't want you to have it or something. Because I find that often, like where people get downloads, people call them like ascension symptoms and stuff. And if they get like headaches and pain with it, that's usually something trying to stop the integration. And you can clear the area where you feel it, and then it will integrate more easily. But there's all kinds of reasons. So you feel free to let us know what you think. But yeah, and yeah, did you? We can do more shows in the future if you want. We can.
Oh
I
yes, I
just
think
kind
it's been amazing. We've been here 3 hours already. Wow. All
of
right.
right. Yeah. I'll upload this too on my channel. Can you tell people how they can reach you? I'll also plug my stuff.
Yeah, if you guys want to reach out to me, I'm all over social media. You can find me at MUFON.com, as well as you can also find me at SWPIP, and that's Something Wicked Paranormal Investigations. Never even touched on that tonight, but I am a paranormal investigator. You can find me at Otherworld Hypnosis as a certified hypnotist, and you can book a session with me. You can find me at Otherworld Photography with my photography career, and as well as look me up for remote viewing if you want to take any remote viewing courses. We've got new courses coming up, and it's going to be a great year. Lots 2026 is going to be a lot of awakenings and a lot of happenings. It's going to be, in a way, kind of a rebirth for everybody to come to their realizations of things, I think. Um, and I think that pretty much does it for me. You can find me right here every week, Monday and Friday, on the Fright Files. We've got lots of new episodes coming up. It gets more frightful every week. And I'll send it. And for you, Sean?
Nice. Yeah, I'll definitely contact you and we can do the trade. I want to. And you seem like you know what you're doing, and you're very powerful. So this will be fun. I'm Sean Bond, founder of Sonic League, sonicleague.com, and the description right there. And you can reach me for consultations, clearings, healings, unlocking your dormant abilities, amplifying your third eye, getting rid of blocks, telepathy, psychic tracking, going into amplifying your abundance, and many other things, healing, depossession from a distance, one of the rare people that do that. You can also contact me at sonicleague@gmail.com if you have like information you want to go into, or story you want to go into, or contact me about the alien artifacts and Indiana Jones adventures. If you want to go on, I do sacred tours, places of power, and pyramids that unlock your dormant abilities, turn on like telekinesis and all kinds of things that I've been bringing people to, and how to tap into that, and wondrous adventures with hot springs and alien artifacts throughout it. So it's really fun adventures. Contact me with Trip and Corey if you're interested in that. And yeah, I'll be going to various conferences, alien event in Las Vegas, Rion's conference, and Guardian, Rise of the Guardians, and a few other things, probably with things like Miles Johnson in UK, his bases, conferences in the upcoming future. But so feel free to look out for that if you're interested in having me for conference or interviews or trades or psionic abilities or whatever else. And back and forth, I love trading, and yeah, I can have you on for shows or whatever else. Contact me, and I'm all on social medias, Facebook, Sean Bond, Sonic League, and a lot of the other ones. So feel free to subscribe to all that. And on my YouTube, Sonic League, there's a lot of superhuman abilities that people are demonstrating. So you'll get the blueprint of that just by watching it. And Alien Artifact Museum is being shown there, so you can connect to a bunch of ones that will say hello energetically to you. So, and thank you all for coming. This has been an awesome show. Thank you for having me, Dr. Fright.
It's been a fantastic show. I've enjoyed every second of it, and I think everybody in the chat room will agree. Even my best friend says, wonderful presentation. So I agree with that. And that's been great having you on, Sean. And for those who check me out, like and subscribe to all of my stuff, and do the same for Sean. He's got a lot of stuff to check out and look at. And this has been the Fright Files, episode 11 or 12. I forgot which one now, but it's been a very frightful night. And from Dr. Fright to Sean, I want to say thank you so much, and look forward to seeing you in the future.
Thank you as well. Yeah, we'll definitely be in touch. So it'll be very unfolding. Definitely feel like I know you. So yeah, this will be fun. So yeah, everyone out there, destroy that like, share this with some friends, comment below your love, and let us know if you want to see more of these shows, and we'll get that out. Yeah, have a wonderful day, everyone.
Thank you very much.